Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins, bringing you another special edition of Trends in the Housing Market. I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. The date today is the 17th of January, 2019. And man, are we already past halfway through the month? The year is going to be barreling on by. It's moving fast. It's going to be an entertaining year for myself and my wife and family. We're having another baby coming. It's going to be our third baby together. And very excited. Very, very, very. And, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good year for us, 2019. Anyways, Romeo is saying, man, the stock is up and down and up and down. Yep. Markets are very volatile right now, and they're finding ways to create liquidity in the market. Wow, $200 free used chips. Whoa, for Playboy Mansion? Oh, that's not bad. Okay, anyways, so it's up and down, up and down. Markets are up and down. Volatility's and the volatility is all over the place, and they're trying to find ways to. I don't know how to say it. Like find ways to create liquidity without going nuts. Now we got the real Kevin Thompson in the comments there. Sup everybody. Juanin is in the comments there. So is Romeo and Kevin Thompson. So if you guys want to join us Wednesday night, trends in the housing market. I should do a little bit of hey. No, I'll leave the hey bid connect. I'll leave that for Mike in the night. We'll be more kind of comedian about it, more funny about it. Please forgive me, guys. I'm going to be drinking a lot of water tonight because I didn't have coffee. Long story why I didn't get my coffee. Long story, but hey. It is trends in the housing market, guys. It is trends in the housing market, man. Man, do I have an action-packed show lined up for you guys tonight? Man, you guys are in for a big treat. Don't forget to share my stuff out there, guys. My channel has officially been taken to a journey of nowhere. I'm getting no more views on I get views on my videos, but not like before. It's being held, everything's being held back. A lot of people are telling me they're not getting notifications. A lot of people are telling me they don't even know I uploaded a video. They thought I've stopped uploading. And yeah, it's pretty sad because when you're trying to spread the good word, you get shut down when you get close to the truth. It's like, if my son one day tells me, Dad, I want to find a cure for cancer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a scientist, and I want to find a cure for cancer and help a lot of people. No, son, they'll kill you if you find a cure for cancer. That's just plain and simple how it works. This is the society we're living in, and it's just, it is what it is. And unfortunately, the people that we have in power are people that we, we put into power. Mr. A-Team 604 says, I didn't get a notification. What's going on? Guys, remember, they're trying to, anytime anyone gets too close to the truth, they get censored. I got to use my backup channel to live stream because this is our speakeasy, guys. This little channel here is masked, or it's masquerading as a video game channel. And then it looks legit. You look at it, okay, it's a video game channel. So they don't come here and bother us, right? So this is our speakeasy. This is like, and then 100 years from now, in the history books, they're going to, Mike Martins was clever. He set up a video game channel as a front. And then behind, he was running his show to get his message out to the people. Okay, guys, what do we got going on tonight? Woo! Kevin Thompson in the house, baby. Kevin Thompson in the house. Guys, he does have a condo for sale in Oakville, Ontario. Oakville, Ontario is roughly 41 kilometers from the city of downtown Toronto. If it's by Lakeshore, it's a good area. Okay, guys, Let's get to it. Let's kick off a bit of Canada first. Canadian real estate sales plummet. Only one major market sees growth in December. Who could that be? So if you were under a rock for the last 100 years, or for the last 10 days, 15, 30, 40 days, people are borrowing against their lines of credits to consume. Walking Journey in the house, two-time world champ. So let's see what's going on here. So real estate sales, Canadian real estate sales continue to cool. It's probably because of the cold weather we're having. Canadian Real Estate Association numbers show sales dropped to a multi-year low December. Weakness was on display across the country with only one major market seeing growth. Okay, what is it? Canadian real estate sales make largest December drop since 2012. Canadian real estate printed the worst December in years. Only 21,909 sales went through the MLS in December, down 34.24% compared to the month before. This represents a 19% decline compared to the same month last year. December sales have only been lower twice in the past 10 years. Ooh. So it's not record. Wow. Look at this, guys. It's kind of like our stock market right now, eh? Both last month's and annual growth rates were worth noting. There it is. Real estate change. The annual decline is the third consecutive decline, the largest since March 2018. The annual growth rate has been trending lower since February 2016. Okay, only one major Canadian real estate grew in December. The declines consist across the board. Markets did worse than other. Montreal reported 2,825 sales in December, an increase of 2.5%. Montreal's doing really good right now because a lot of people are leaving the Toronto area, moving to Montreal because it's cheaper. So here are the sales markets. So there's 2017. Wow, look at that sales in Toronto, and look at 2018. Sales are dropping as prices go down along with it. So Montreal did better than it did last year. See Montreal? It's a little bit ahead there. Vancouver, oof. But nothing selling in Vancouver. Calgary, Edmonton, same thing. Fraser Valley, Ottawa, Hamilton, and Murderpeg. British Columbia real estate leads. Sales lower. The biggest weakness for Canadian real estate sales were Vancouver, Fraser Valley, and Hamilton. Vancouver reported 1,094 sales in December, 41.8% decline compared to last year. Fraser Valley, a suburb of Vancouver, reported 739 sales, down 41.8% from last year. Hamilton, a suburb of Toronto, reported 534 sales, a decline of 26% from last year. So there it is in Montreal, seeing a bit of a change, but everything else. Look at Vancouver. Woo! Walking Journey in the house, two-time world champ, guys. Don't forget to check his channel out. I really like his channel. I'm on it every day. I'm always catching him when he's live. He usually goes live once a day. Sometimes every 2 days he goes live. He's going to go live after the show, he said, so he should be going live after my show. After I log off, Walking Journey will be going live. Anyway, so here it is. Look at this. Look at Vancouver. Look at the Fraser Valley. Look at Hamilton, Toronto. All these cities are down. Where's Toronto and Calgary real estate at? Toronto reported 3,781 sales, down 23.3% when compared to the same time last year. Calgary reported 985 sales, down 24% from last year. The sales declines as a ratio. We're both in the middle of the market, relatively speaking. National mortgage stress test makes a little more sense, but not much more. Most markets with decline do not have home price detached from local incomes. That doesn't mean the prices. So guys, again, local incomes, what's going on, guys? And the problem is we're sitting in this stagnation, deflationary period. This environment we're in is not good at all. Woo! Anyways, and now with Russia and China, and I heard India too, are selling off U.S. treasuries. And yeah, and then rising debt has surpassed wages by I don't know, like a couple of 100%, like just surpassed. Just blew right by with the price of $2 million for a detached bungalow. So, guys, in the books, I'm thinking, someone asked me if they're going to implement QE, quantitative easing. Now, people need to understand that quantitative easing is a manufactured deception to basically bail out the banks. It's not to bail out the people. It's the ultra elite get bailed out so they don't lose. Let's move on. So, look at these cities again here real quick here. Look at Vancouver, Fraser Valley, Hamilton, Calgary, Toronto, Edmonton. They're just in the hole right now. Montreal is the only one that's got its head above water. And we have a viewer down there named Rainier Mola. Rainier Mola, who's sometimes in the comments there, is in Montreal and could tell us about what's going on there. Vancouver becoming the weak link in housing slowdown. Oh my good.
To buy a home in the third quarter, they would have had to pay almost 50% of their income to cover the cost of things like the mortgage payments, taxes, and utilities. So it's a pretty dire picture overall in Canada, and especially in the larger markets like Toronto and Vancouver.
Is there a number, a percentage that we consider affordable? Is there something we should be targeting?
Well, now, if you went to a bank, they will tell you anything above 32% is a little too much. Now, those are the numbers that we calculate are hypothetical. If your kind of typical household were to buy today at today's prices and today's interest rates, so clearly your typical buyer could not buy a home in the or an average home in the Toronto and Vancouver area, for example.
So let's talk about what goes into this number. Obviously, we've been watching.
So sales are down, and we know that, and we know why. It's the stress testing on the mortgages, and nobody could secure financing. Banks are tightening their lending, and it's becoming tough and tougher to secure financing for anything. So if you can't get the money, you can't buy it. So Merry Christmas. So that's just how it works. And if you can't deal with the heat, if you can't deal with the heat in the kitchen, then get out. I think you guys deserve a little bit of hey, hey, hey. You guys have been really nice in the comments section. I think I'm going to throw up a little bit of hey, hey, heys for you guys. You guys deserve it. You guys have been good. So,
hey, 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 everybody. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
And there's like two people cheering.
Hey, everybody. My name is Carlos.
That's Carlitos there. I think he did well. Anyways, you guys are doing good tonight in the comments. So we'll do a little bit of hey, hey, heys once in a while when you guys are good. But this back to the housing crisis we're facing, guys. It's pretty bad, and I don't know what to do when it comes to giving advice for something like this or trying to wake people up to this, because this is what I've been talking about since day one. Right here. Many young professionals leaving Vancouver over high cost of housing. Oh, yeah. Young professionals can't live in their own city. And this is a semi-detached house here, for example. I'm not picking on the house. I'm just saying semi-detached house. Let's say she's a teacher, and let's say he's a lawyer or something, or let's say he's a doctor. He couldn't afford this in Vancouver. That's the problem. So now when all these doctors, I talked to nurses, doctors. Some of them have even come and visited me at the store, and they're telling me the exact same thing. Yeah, I'm moving to Wyoming. Yeah, I'm moving to South Carolina. Yeah, I'm moving to Texas. It's just so much better. When you pay $150,000 for a house and you're not worried, you make money, you pay your house off, you take vacations, you take the kids out, you do your thing. It's like, holy smokes. Sorry, guys, I got a headache, so I'm drinking a bit of water here. See if I can dampen it down. Ian Reeve and his wife moved from rental home to rental home in Vancouver, but their final solution secure housing was to move to Ottawa and buy 2 houses. One for them and another for his parents. There you go. And you know what? I'm going to be really frank with you. This guy, probably those 2 houses he bought, couldn't give him a down payment on the house in Vancouver. Couldn't even give him a down payment. Oh, uneducated economist, 2-time world champ in the show, in the comments right now. I wonder if he's at work right now. Aurora stock has been doing well, according to Andrea Nicotina. I've been out of the marijuana stock. I've been out of all the stocks. I pulled all my oil stocks. There was a slight spike in oil a couple of days ago, and I just pulled out when I was up, and I'm just going to hold back on the sidelines and see what happens. So professionals leaving Vancouver. They're leaving California. They're leaving Portland. They're leaving Seattle, King County. They're leaving New York. They're leaving Boston. They're leaving London. They're leaving Sydney. They're leaving Auckland. They're leaving everywhere. Dublin, Belfast, Edinburgh. Everybody's leaving these, and they're losing all their professionals, and these professionals actually pay the damn taxes. They actually keep the middle class, this working class. Okay, these white collar workers that they're losing are the ones that actually keep the infrastructure afloat. The amount of taxes some of these doctors have to pay is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Oh, I make $140,000 a year after tax. I take home $79,000. It's like, what the hell? And we're losing our doctors and professionals. So this guy is leaving. This family is leaving Vancouver to go buy 2 houses in Ottawa. He and his wife, Cassandra, are professionals in their mid-30s who wanted to start a family, but they couldn't afford to buy in Vancouver. Me too. I wanted to start a family. I wanted a whole bunch of kids, man. I wanted kids. I wanted to raise family. I wanted to take Lampoon's vacations on a big car, my minivan, and drive across the country. You know what I'm saying? But they can't do it. You got to leave major cities to do it. We wanted to own a home and have stability and peace of mind and flexibility, Mr. Reeves said. The rental market didn't have stability. We both had settled into pretty good first jobs, but as much as we loved the city and had these connections, it wasn't worth it. Thank you. Thank you. It's not, who cares who you're connected to? If they're not paying your bills, so what? You can make connections anywhere you go. Okay, here we go. Andre Nicotina saying the prices in Toronto and Vancouver are criminally high. Kevin Thompson says, I'm stuck in a condo. And uneducated economist, guys, you need to check out his channel. I'm going to open it up in a few seconds here. No work tonight, just sitting at home watching your awesome show. If you want to call me on Skype, let me know. Uneducated economist, I'd like to have you on. So you could talk about the housing. You did a few housing videos on your channel. I saw them. They were really good. Guys, I'm going to show you what his channel looks like. Too bad I'm broadcasting on my backup channel. It's too bad. Too bad. So I'm on my video game channel. So doing this. So this is our little speakeasy here. Here he is here. It's a coin. Silver, actually. And he posted a video an hour ago. Government shutdown in food supply. And plucking economy. This one was good. And this was funny. I didn't see the government shutdown one yet. I've been setting up for the show. And you guys should check him out. He does talk about housing here further down. Talks about the yield curves. Very important to understand in very basic terminology on what's going on. And yeah, it's just a very interesting subject right now. And my son is knocking on the door. Hey, Daddy. Daddy. Hey, Antonio. Daddy's working, okay? Okay. Okay, Antonio. Thank you. Yeah, I love having kids, man. I love it. I love it. Okay, so They were kicked out of a few places in 3 years through no fault of their own, he said, adding that it was because people were selling or flipping properties. Mr. Grieve grew up and went to the university in Vancouver. So these are people born and raised, grew up there, and leaving the major cities. Lots of people leaving the major cities. Lots of people. And it's the Vancouver Canadian proper that we've been talking about here. And it's right here. It's very important. Very important article. Very dangerous article, too. Aboriginals and whites leaving Metro Vancouver. Aboriginals and whites are leaving Vancouver for other regions. I read this article many times on this channel because it's very important. Net total of 9,345 whites and 460 Indigenous people of Metro for other parts of the province, and that's in 2016. 2017, the number was about 14,000, and then 2018, they're saying the number was anywhere in 21 to 23,000 people have left the major city, white people. So they're just picking on whites here because Vancouver 10 years ago was predominantly white now. Used to be predominantly white. It's Canada, or it's a British colony. You know, you go to Brazil, everyone's a Portuguese, or they speak Portuguese. It's like the culture, and they're all part of the, the whole conveyor belt of how things kind of move along in life. You know what I'm saying? You go to Jamaica, everyone's Jamaican, But many young professionals, this is really heartbreaking, guys. If you're in a situation like this, add me on Skype. I'd like to know what is happening with you guys. I'd like to know what's happening in your situation, why you're leaving your major city. I know Walking Journey, who's in the comments. Walking Journey in the comments, I know for sure. I know he left California because it was too expensive and it wasn't worth his time. He did the same thing I did. A lot of people did the same thing I did. I'm not the same one in the same boat. So uneducated economist, thanks, brother. Can't Skype tonight, but soon. That was fun. Yeah, we'll have him on the show. I know he's not feeling well, so. Okay, here we go. Douglas Todd, Chinese students, river of cash unlikely to dry up. Canada hosts 8 times more Chinese students per capita than the U.S., suggesting this country's educational institutions are more dependent on, if not addicted to, their fees. So what's been happening is it's not good. They're ramping up the price of tuition like 3-4 times higher, and they're basically the country, after they made loans and everything federally, everything became federal. The government has its fingers in student loans and everything here in Canada. Same thing in the States. So let's see if he says here.
Prime Minister has shuffled his cabinet. All the political commentators are saying this is an election cabinet.
No. This is not the one this is not what this is. So Canada hosts 8 times more Chinese students per capita than the U.S. That's a lot. A business college in the University of Illinois has taken out an insurance policy against the potential catastrophic loss of revenue from high-fee-paying students from China. What? Okay, I'm going to reread that because I don't even know what the hell that... I have no idea. So, real Kevin Thompson is buying a pickup truck now, guys. Okay, a business college at the University of Illinois has taken out an insurance policy, okay, against the potential catastrophic loss of revenue from high-fee-paying students from China. Okay, so if the students don't pay, the insurance will pay them, I guess. Okay, let's find out. Educators and social media commentators are expressing fears that the river flowing from Chinese students to Canada and the U.S., Britain, Australia will dry up because of a brewing trade war and the arrest in Vancouver Howie's chief finance officer Meng Wazhou. The government of China has said it has more than 600,000 students studying abroad, the vast majority of them in English language countries. Highly desired Canada has more than 186,000 of them, according to China's Toronto consulate. I never believe these numbers they tell you. It's probably like 700,000. Believe me, it is. The federal government's figure is slightly lower. That means China's young people make up roughly 1 in 3 of all 500,000 international students in Canada. Canada could even attract more Chinese students in the future, in part because of the number entering the U.S. appears to be flattened out, possibly because of President Donald Trump's rhetoric about China and immigrants. That's why Illinois Business College Dean Jeffrey Brown, realizing his school had become highly dependent on Chinese students, took out an insurance policy with Lloyd's of London. Wow. That's crazy. So yeah, this is Immigration Minister Ahmed Hussein says, we do whatever we need to bring an increased number of students from China. So a lot of wealthy students coming in to shower their money around, and it is making it hard on the locals to keep up with the price increases. So remember the property tax thing, guys? With the property taxes. Oh, what happened here? Hold on. Credit default swaps. Okay, uneducated economist is saying. He's right. Jeff O'Toole. Does Mike have a thyroid problem? I have never seen someone drink so much water. No, guys, I only drink water. That's all I drink. Lemon water. That's it. I cut a lemon, slice it up, and I didn't drink much today. I didn't even have a coffee today, so I'm pretty dry right now. My wife screams at the top of her lungs daily over stupid stuff. There's nowhere to get away from your wife and relax in a condo. Oh God, what's happening here? Like, comments are going crazy, man. And Kevin Thompson saying his wife threatened seniors in the building. Oh my God. Wow, Kevin Thompson, man, holy smokes! You gotta get your wife on, under control here. What are you doing? She's threatening seniors in the building. Anyways, guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me on my little speakeasy channel here. The channel is fronted as a video game channel. So technically, I'm streaming video games right now. And anyways, remember that article I brought up about property taxes going up, and it's a big deal. Well, remember I brought up that company, that ceramic company in Vancouver? We read the article that they were laying off 109 people because they wanted to lay off everybody before the property tax was due in the summer. Well, they did. And they're starting to lay off people and slowly to shut down operations. That's a big problem because their property tax went from $2,600 a year to $41,000 a year. So $2,100 a year, $2,100 a year, not $21,000, $2,100 a year to $41,000 per year. And they have to lay off everyone before the property tax becomes due. They're going to see if they can offload their factory before time comes, before they have to pay the property tax. That is disgusting. And look at all the people now that wages are not going to be taxed anymore. They're not taxing any of these people's wages anymore. Are you effing serious? They're not taxing wages anymore. 100 people gone out the door. So that's what's going on. Jeff O'Toole is saying, don't worry, the locals can absorb all those West Van homes. And then Kevin Thompson follow up to his story saying, those seniors mysteriously moved out a few months later. They're probably squatting in there. You don't ever know. A lot of these people got $200-$300 pensions a month, and they're probably squatting in some of these apartments, and they probably got caught. You never know. You never know. Like that lady that went shopping in London. No, it wasn't in London. It wasn't in Manchester. Where was it? It wasn't in Manchester. I think it was in Leeds. Somewhere in England. Okay. Lady goes shopping. Okay. So she takes that 45-minute trip to go shop. She wanted to go to some super big extravaganza thing, and she spent the whole day. She comes home, someone's squatting in her house, and she can't get him out. The police come in, they can't do nothing. Isn't that breaking in and entering? Like, isn't that considered breaking in and entering? If you come home and there's somebody in your house in your bed, and you're like, get the hell out of my house. I'm not leaving. I got squatters' rights. It's like, what the heck is going on? Lady went shopping for the day. Spend the day, her day off. I read the article. Spend the day off. Get some nails done. Get her hair done. Now she's in a homeless shelter. She's in a homeless shelter. She's been in a homeless shelter for 5 months. That is something that we need to, bring forward. Is this what's happening with this? Like, it's like this some guy breaks into a house and he gets hurt, okay? Breaking into the house, and then he sues the homeowner and wins. What? That's 10 of the law. If I break into someone's house and I get hurt, I could sue the owner for breaking his window. Anyways, Richmond senior shocked by massive condo assessment spike. So everybody's getting these huge, I got a huge spike in my assessments over there. My assessment's like $120,000 over from what I bought my house for. So it's actually pretty high, my assessment. But people are saying, well, Mike, your house is worth more. No, it's just more on paper. And I got to pay more property tax. That's how they get you. Yeah, so she's been living there for 25 years. Wow. And mid-rise condo buildings with stucco or slates in the streets similar, which are 3 stories high. Whoa! Her assessment raised by 37%! 4 times the average increase. So her condo was assessed in 2016. It was assessed at $267, and today it's worth $513. Yeah, she can't afford her property taxes. Here it is, the paper right here. Oh my God, what a massive jump. $513 for a 1-bedroom apartment. She can't afford the property tax. So the assessment here in Canada, I'm not sure how it works in Australia, because I know they pay stamp duty. It's a little bit different. Belinda Mercer down in Florida saying homeowners insurance going up too. Yeah. And Andre Nicotina saying, when you kick people out of your house, you on your own, then there's a huge problem with the law. Yeah, squatters are a big deal right now in the UK, and I know it happens in the States, but in the States they usually do abandoned homes. They don't go into people's houses while they go shopping. You know what I'm saying? Moby is Moby, a.k.a. Moby in the house from the Greater Toronto Area, joining us. Peter Moneybags Oatzinger in Sydney, Australia. Yeah, Australia has no property tax, only investment property. So basically they got a stamp duty. So for this little old lady that's been paying property tax all her life, look at this. Oh my goodness. So her assessment went up so much. Look, I can read the paper from here. So in the last 2 years, It went from 267 to 513,000, and now she has to pay property tax. So here's the problem with this, guys, with this property assessment. You can't dispute it. If your property comes back at that much, you got to pay that much property tax. And do you know why property taxes are skyrocketing all over Canada? Toronto, Vancouver, all the big cities? Because the price of housing's going down. So they need to set up an aggregation. They need an aggregation because they're not getting that passive income every year. So they got to make up that passive income. What do? Price of housing is going down. No, that can't happen. That means we're going to make less on property taxes. We got to raise the property taxes in aggregative terms so that they're basically paying the difference, But it's horrible. The people lose their shirts. Oh, yeah, people are losing their shirts. Property taxes. Moby, let us know in the comments, are people raising property? Are property taxes going up there like crazy? Because Vancouver had a huge hike. The hike was so bad in Vancouver that now, okay, on my first topic about the big company that closed down because property taxes went from $2,800 a year to $41,000 a year. We read the article last week. It's on there. You can see it. It's on record. To $41,000. They're closing the company because they can't afford the property tax. You can't dispute it. But now, let me do a follow-up to what I was saying. There's another 2 more companies, big companies in Vancouver, that are closing because they can't afford the property tax. My in-laws' house there, their house outright, they own their house outright, but have to pay $2,800 a year in property tax. So people in Australia do not know how good they have it when they have to say, oh, we got to pay a stamp duty tax when we buy a house. Like, you got to pay it once. I would rather pay a stamp duty tax. So it's basically like your GST when you buy your house here in PST, whatever. So you're paying it already, and then you still pay property tax on top. I wouldn't mind paying it up front, honestly, than having it for the rest of my life. Then all you have to do is just pay your water and your lights and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about that stuff. Holy crap. I really feel sorry for the senior. I really feel for her. Condo assessment spike. It's not just us, guys. It's more going on here. There's more going on. And the government's not going to, you know what? And property values drop another 10-15% in Vancouver, they're just going to raise property tax even more. Plain and simple is what they're going to do. Plain and simple. Create the aggregation. We need this much. We were living off this much. The city can't function. Oh, let's push out our white and blue collar workers, all our doctors. Let's go back to this article. Many young professionals leaving Vancouver over high cost of rent. 2 professionals here. Guys leaving Vancouver to buy 2 houses in Ottawa. 2 for the down payment on 1. For the down payment on 1. There you go. That's what's happening. And now when these people aren't here to tax their wages, other cities and municipalities will take their... Like here, I pay my property tax, I pay my bills, I pay everything. I pay my... and this city prospers because I'm a good citizen, I guess. So I don't want to go to jail for not paying my property tax. National roast. Okay, where did this article go? Oh, yeah, this is one for Saturday we're going to talk about. I'm going to save this one for Saturday. Don't ever question mass immigration. You'll be instantly racist. Yeah, the word, guys, just so you know, and I've made it official on this channel, the word racist means 0. People could call me a racist all day long. It wouldn't bother me one bit. I don't care. I'd be more offended if somebody called me a toaster or something. So I'm gonna save this link here for Mike in the Night, so we could talk about what the heck is going on in this world of ours. Anyways, guys, if you're just tuning into the show, I want to say thank you for everyone for tuning in. I want to thank everyone that's hit me up in the tip jar. Thank you so much, guys. You don't know how much it means to me when I receive a notice that I have Someone sent me a tip, and I want to thank Randy and Vladimir for hitting up the tip jar today. Again, Toronto condo market would get rougher this year. Big problems, big problems. Toronto's condo market has been a story of rising prices, rising rents, and limited supply, and a decoupling from the detached market. And analysis and developers look at 2019. There are signs the market could get rougher still for new buyers, builders, and renters. First time issue could be affordability. Well, I don't think that's the first issue is affordability. I think the first issue is securing financing. Because before condos, if they didn't put in the stress testing, the B20 rules, and all those laws they put in, if they did not throw those in, housing would still be selling like crazy to regular Joe Schmoes. Joe Schmoes. Woo! Let me get some water here, guys. Steve in the comments. Foreclosure King here in the comments. And we'll have him on in a bit. I guess when he's ready, we'll have him on. He just got in from a long day. Been a long day. Lots of hours. Oh, okay. Affordability, I don't think is the first issue. I think it's securing financing is the first issue. Then affordability. And then, see, new condo prices are shutting out first time buyers in the city. Market analysis, condos are at set of top 1,000 per square foot. A dramatic 68% increase from 2016. Average pre-sales price of $595 per square foot. Be really careful with jumping on real estate right now, guys. I don't recommend anybody to buy anything right now until the markets find a way to find some sort of a correction or something. Ontario government proposes to increase housing supply by changing Toronto area growth. Oh my God, why are they doing this? It's not a supply problem. Like 120,000 empty homes in the GTA. It's not a supply problem. Oh, that's an ad. Oh, it's a Jeep. Environmentalists and the opposition are worried about the introduction of Bill 66 by the progressive conservative government. They say they worry it would be developers will be able to build on the Greenbelt, Travis reports. So I was in the Greenbelt, guys. Go to my channel, type in Greenbelt. I'll show you what it looks like on my channel. I did a whole drive through the Greenbelt when I was in Toronto.
Bill 66 on Thursday and then went on the winter holiday. This is a bombshell bill. One of the most contentious parts is the part that looks at the Greenbelt. Now, critics say it opens up that area to development. The government, though, says, don't worry. It's an escape from the hustle and bustle of GTA life. Pristine land that stretches from the Niagara region through Hamilton and across the top of Toronto.
If you've had a really bad day, you come in here and you walk out and you just feel totally relaxed.
For years, the Greenbelt has been protected by the provincial government. However, during the last election campaign, then candidate Ford said this.
We will open up the Greenbelt, not all of it. We're going to open a big chunk of it up, and we're going to start building.
Then backing off his claim when the video went public.
I give you my commitment. Anything we look at the Greenbelt, again, I'm repeating it 4 times. I give you my commitment. It will be replaced.
But now, Bill 66, a sweeping piece of legislation that covers 12 ministries. The government says it's about making Ontario competitive, reducing red tape, but there are still concerns it could lead to development in the Greenbelt, throwing protections out the window.
It allows the municipalities to make that choice that they want to pass an open for business bylaw, and then it's up to the province to review the application, make sure that they've done their due diligence, and then it's up to the province to decide. If they haven't, then the answer is no.
Promise made, promise broken.
The opposition parties.
Well, that old guy has an earring on. Anyways, so that's the Greenbelt being chewed up. Microsoft is pledging $500 million for affordable housing in the Seattle area. It's not going to work. There's too many empty homes. They need 88,000 more. No, everyone's leaving. You don't need 88,000 more units. I hand to God you don't. Fill up the empty investor-owned units and you will be fine. But unfortunately, now Seattle, King County, is under this problem because of Vancouver. Vancouver implements the foreign buyers tax. The foreign buyers don't buy anymore because they're not going to get ripped off. Half of them go south to Seattle, and the other half went to Toronto! And Toronto's like getting totally shafted. But now Seattle housing prices are dipping, and they have dipped in the last 2 quarters. Pretty healthy percentages. Because now, all they're doing now in America now, when you buy a house and you're a foreign investor, you need to declare where the money came from. They never did before. Now, you need to declare where the money came from if you want to buy a property there. So it's like, wow, that's all you have to do to slow down your foreign investments is to declare where the money's coming from? Wow, that's amazing. I mean, they should have just did this since the time of Moses. Yeah, we're going to talk on Saturday about the Canadian that's been executed in China. We're going to talk about that. Hopefully Peter's got a story he could share with us about that. Hopefully Evan could be on too. We get Evan, our truth analyst, on Mike in the Night. Anyways, Microsoft is pledging $500 million for affordable housing, and it's not a money problem. A lot of people think all they need to do is throw, like these houses in Seattle, they're like $700,000-800,000 US. And it's just phenomenal. They think they could throw money to fix problems. You cannot throw money to fix problems. You can't throw money around. It doesn't solve problems. It might quiet down things for a bit. Okay? It might quiet. You might get a bit of peace for a while. But then it keeps coming back. I was going to woo it there for a second. All right, you guys have been good. All right, a little bit of more Big Connect for you guys. Where to go? Guys, don't forget to check out Uneducated Economist.
Residents of Sydney's troubled Opal Tower fake.
Yeah, we got the Opal Tower. We did review this already, where that tower is completely failing, and it is not looking good for people on the ground there. So what do we got here? What do we start with? Sales plummet in Vancouver and Toronto. Aboriginals and whites leaving Metro Vancouver. Young professionals leaving Vancouver over high costs of pricing. Chinese students' river of cash unlikely to dry up. Senior citizens shocked by massive condo assessment spike. We already talked about this earlier, and I talked about the amount of companies now that are closing before the property tax deadline is due. Holy crap. It's like, okay, guys, we got 3 months to close. Let's get some production. Let's all walk out of here with a bit of money in our pockets. Can you believe that? Yeah. Kevin Thompson is calling for Mike's Toilet to come into the comment section, guys. So, people losing their jobs. And this is one we're going to cover on Saturday with Evan, if he's available. Don't ever question mass immigration. You'll be instantly considered a racist. Good. Toronto condos. Guy with the earring. And we just covered this one. Microsoft pledges. Pledge. Because they can't find employees anymore. No one's gonna pay $2 million for a detached bungalow. Hot no more. Seattle dropped from the Zillow's top list of top 10 hottest real estate markets. Several factors contributed to the change from 2018 when Seattle was ranked number 3. Okay, I'm not sure what the random pictures are for. What is that, Atlanta? I'm not sure where this... Oh, San Francisco. There's just other major cities here. I have no idea why they have this here, but that's okay. Ooh, okay, wait a minute. Ah, I know what this is. Let's look at this, guys. This is actually pretty good. These are hottest real. Ah, I see it's opening up more. Here we go. Number 1. Where are you, number 1? All right, let's go to number 2. Okay, number 1, image 2 of 19. San Jose, California, medium home value. So these are the most expensive cities. A medium home value at $1.251 million, and the rent is $3,521 American. So here's the deal. Median home value, $1.251 million US in San Jose. We got to get Demise Music and Entertainment on the show. He lives in San Jose. I'm going to try and get him on the show as soon as possible. I just got to get a hold of him. I need him on the show. I need him to tell us what the heck is going on there, because he's saying it's out of control, and he's been looking to buy it for the last 100 years. And it's been an absolute disaster. Number 2, Orlando, Florida. Median home value, $233,000. And the median rent is $1,400. But the average income growth is higher than it is gone up 5.2%, so that's not that bad. Denver, Colorado. Median home value $403,000. Median rent $2,075. And average income growth has been up 6.6%. This one doesn't want to open. Atlanta. I knew that was Atlanta when I saw the picture. Medium home value, $215,000. Median rent, $1,000. So in Atlanta, $215,000 buys you a decent detached home. Minneapolis, St. Paul. Median home value, $265,000. Median rent, $1,659. Number 6, San Francisco, median home value $963,000, median rent $3,500, average household income has grown 5.2%. Dallas Fort Worth, that's where Walking Journey should go. Walking Journey is looking to move or move somewhere else in Texas. Okay, he's looking to be somewhere else, and if you watch his videos, Dallas Fort Worth median house value $237,000. No image in 10. Okay. Number 8, Nashville. Median home value $252,000. Median rent $1,499. Jacksonville, Florida. Median home value $208,000 in Jacksonville. Median rent $1,300. San Diego. Median home value $592,000. Median rent $2,500. Tampa, Florida. Median home value $211,000. Median rent $1,400. Boston. Median home value $462,000. Median rent $2,377. Seattle. Median home value $486,000. Median rent $2,200. Yep. Seattle's dropping big time. It used to be worth a lot more than that. Miami, Fort Lauderdale. So you could go to Miami, guys, get a nice place in Miami. Median home value $281,000. And if somebody in Australia was watching this and they saw that, they'd probably have a heart attack, because that's probably not even what they put down on their down payment to buy their house. Hey. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? BitConnect.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. What's up, 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 BitConnect?
Yeah. It was like two people cheering there. So we need to keep this in the background here. I gotta get a soundboard going, guys. So that's it right there. People living in New Zealand, Australia, and the UK, and they see these, Canada too. They see these prices. Holy macaroni. California is home to the country's hottest housing market, but data shows that the southern metros like Dallas are closing in. Yeah, Dallas, Fort Worth. Everything's going up, guys, in those cheaper areas. So a lot of people are fleeing the expensiveness and moving to better places with more prosperity and affordable costs of living. So I got Mike Martin's sister here. And I don't have a sister, guys. I'm an only child, so. Daniel O'Brien made it finally. He made it. It's about time. And I'm going to block Mike Martin's sister. Goodbye, Mike Martin's sister. Hasta la vista. Goodbye. I don't want people spamming on here. I don't want people causing troubles on here. This is our little speakeasy, and the last thing I need is for people to come on. Mike Martin's toilet will be on very soon. I'll tell you that right now. Because this person created a bunch of accounts, but it's not the other person the FBI is looking into. They know who he is. It's actually a guy. And I've been notified that the person that was threatening me, my family the other day, is basically will never bother us again. And not even, it's done. Someone's asking a really good question. Why are there no political party that calls for a stop to immigration completely? That's a good question. Affordability is attractive for both young professionals and booming businesses. Earning markets like Orlando, Minneapolis, Dallas, Nashville, top building 2019, said senior economist with Zillow. So right now, guys, if you're in the United States, you have freedom. Why? Because you have the freedom to live in so many big cities. Unfortunately, here in Canada, you got 3 cities to live in, and they're all cold. You don't have a choice. You could live in Vancouver, Toronto, and maybe Montreal or Calgary or Edmonton, but that's it. You guys have Atlanta. Just in Texas, you have more cities than we do. You have Dallas. You got Houston. You got San Antonio. You got Austin. You got so many places just in Texas to live. So many big cities. Fort Worth. That's 5 cities right there. We don't even have that like that in Canada. Canada, we're stuck between 3 cities. I like seeing Kevin Thompson in the comments there. California is home to the country's hottest housing market, but data shows metros like Dallas are closing in. And yeah, it's true, guys. Southern California housing sales dropped by 12%. This is a big deal. In November, as price gains slow. Oof. Prices dropped 12%. Southern California median house prices right there. It's going back down, people. Do you remember in 2008 where they went below 300,000? Now they're just above 530. Wow. You know what the problem is with this, guys, and I said it in my discussion when I was driving, is that they've built a second economy, okay, on a phony asset bubble. So the first crash in 2007, 2008 didn't fully fix the problems. They just did bail-ins. And what they did was they built a second economy on top of the unfinished economy, and now, you know, it's going to be a lot of more problems to fix because it's a phony asset bubble. Driving interest rates so low has created this, and now a lot of people are in a lot of trouble. Woo! Let's move on. Where's Lord Humongous, man? Where are you? I haven't seen Lord Humongous now in a long time. Man. I don't know what this is, the Denver Post. I don't know why it's doing that. Again, it's telling me. It's basically saying Denver, Colorado seeing sales drop. Las Vegas faces housing slump after comeback from recession. So Las Vegas, again, in the same predicament it was 10 years ago. Mortgage rejections soar 400% as credit crunch bites. Australian property. This is from in Australia. And it's by Martin North, who's an economist through digital financial analytics. And there you go. Rejections are going to keep coming in. Banks are not going to be throwing away money anymore. Banks are going to be a lot smarter right now. Australia to see the world's worst 2019 house price fall report. I have one word to say, guys. Woo! And the people that got themselves into this predicament, what were you thinking?
Hey, hey, hey. What's up,
Oops, sorry, no, mic check. I'm back. Sorry, guys. Yeah, anyways, if I was his... Did you hear that, guys?
Wow! Be connected!
Man, if I was this guy's wife, I think I'd divorce him too.
And let me tell you that I am actually earning around $1,400 on an everyday basis, 7 days a week. What?
That's what happens when you deal with pyramid scams. Hey.
I am right now financially independently. I am saying to so many people who said that this was going to be a con artist game, that this was going to be a scammer game. Hey, you're going to lose all your money. My wife still doesn't believe in me.
I don't think his wife believes in him anymore. Oh my God. Yeah. Woo! BitConnect. All right, let's go back to what we're talking about. Southern California homes drops 12% in November as price gains slow. Again, the whole western seaboard of the United States is actually feeling this. Yeah, this one's important right here. Right here. Australia to see the world's worst 2019 house price fall report. Australia will see the world's biggest house price declines this year, according to one of the world's major credit rating agencies, which declared homeowners would have to wait until 2020 to see any recovery. I don't believe it, guys. Recovery? And by 2020? Like, try 2035. In a research report released on Wednesday, Finch Ratings forecasts Australian house prices would decline another 5% this year. Okay, they're making it seem like, oh, 5%. Dude, if you have $1 million house, that's $50,000 you're out. So if it's already gone down another 10%, you're out 150 large. You're in a negative equity position right now. Hey, hey, hey. I got to talk about that guy once in a while, too, on the show. Hey, guys, I'm here in Hollywood with my 2 Lamborghinis in my garage. Who is that guy? Tell me in the comment section. And I got 2 Lamborghinis, and I read a book a day. And then, you know, I was sleeping on a couch. And then I just, you know, started, you know, making these videos. Peter is saying, I'm waiting for the 50-60% correction. That's when it will get interesting. Oh, yeah, Lopez. Yeah, what was his name? First name. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, man, I got my Lamborghini here. I got these 2 Lamborghinis in my garage. Let me tell you something about these 2 Lamborghinis. You know, when I'm driving around with them, people just look at me. Why? Because why am I talking about this today? Why am I talking about this BitConnect today? It's because the housing was just the same thing. If you find what I'm saying amusing and you find these people funny, this is the same thing that's happened in this housing crisis. There's no difference. This housing crisis is the same just as BitConnect, the same as the guy from AMTV. It's all a show. And the people that bought into this Ponzi scheme, what can I tell you? Hey, I've been warning people for many years. I'm not some, what do you call those guys? Captain Obviouses that come out after the problem is formed. You get people coming on the scene saying, hey, it's me, Captain Obvious. You guys should have did this and should have did that. You should have put this in place and you should have fixed this. Why didn't you tell us this years ago? And then they're erasing my videos from years ago. Yeah, Black Lambo. Yeah, Ty Lopez. I got this open twice. There is no need to lose confidence. Why 2019 is a good time to buy. Again, this. Do you know what this Australian article is equivalent to? Mafangulo. I'll show you what it's right here. Watch this. There's no need to lose confidence. At 2019 is a good time to buy.
Hey everybody, my name is Carlos Matos, and I am coming from New York City.
Housing downtown.
Let me tell you guys that I am so excited. I am so happy. I am really so thrilled to be right now sharing this amazing.
Okay, guys, now I want to share some amazing information with you guys. Listen to me very clearly. You see that 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 400 square foot house? If you're paying more than $200,000 for that, it's overpriced. I don't care if that's on the moon. Same thing like the BitConnect fiasco. Yeah, House Connect. Thank you in the comment section. Andre Nicothina. It's House Connect is what it is now. Here they go. There's no need to lose confidence why 2019 is a good time to buy. I bet you 100 to 1 it's not a good time to buy. I'll bet you 100 to 1. While recent headlines on the housing downturn may prompt uncertainty, property experts that prospective buyers shouldn't be discouraged. Yeah, be discouraged. What are you going to pay $2 million for a bungalow for? Much is being written on declining sales results in Australia's capital city property markets, particularly Melbourne and Sydney. However, hey, did you guys hear? Did you hear what's going on? Canberra is taking over both Sydney and Melbourne. Because everyone's moving to Canberra now. Canterbury or Canberra. I'm sorry if I get it wrong. I'm sorry. These prices fall, allow prolonged period of exponential growth, and markets' underlying fundamentals remain strong. Okay, let's get back to basics. $2 million for that? Don't make me pull out the Zillow and show you what 90 grand buys you in South Carolina or what 90 grand buys you in Dallas, Fort Worth. You don't make me pull out Zillow, because when you're paying $2 million for that, you are getting chewed. Yeah, guys, we need to get Kevin Thompson for a HELOC. Okay, it's not Canterbury. I'm thinking of, God, that place in Australia. Oh, God. All right, let's see if they mention it here. Now it's going to bother me. It just passed Melbourne and Sydney. Sorry, guys, for my lack of understanding cities there. Just looking at the article here. Land packages starting at $1.1 million. Canberra, there we go. It's Canberra, right? Canberra, everyone in the comments. Thank you. Canberra. Well, no. Daniel O'Brien brings up a good comment saying you need the Asians to hype the market. Not anymore. Capital restrictions are shut off, especially coming to Canada. I don't think the Chinese president's going to let a dime of Chinese money come into Canada anymore. So when you're paying $2 million for that house, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to tell people that. Let's say you have, okay, even if you have the $2 million to buy this house. Let's say I have the $2 million, Mike. I'm just going to buy that and I'll have a mortgage. You could buy a jet plane, a private jet plane. You could hire a captain for $69,000 a year to fly you around for a whole year. And you could sell back the plane at the price you bought it for. And all you pay for is the captain and the fuel for a year. And any maintenance you might need. But if you spend $1 million on a nice jet, you won't be doing a lot of repairs. So if you get a good captain, $60,000, $70,000 a year, you buy your jet plane and your fuel. And then you could sell back the plane for the same price. And you could have an experience of your life that you'll never, ever, ever forget. And you'll tell everybody. So Kevin Thompson's lending out money from his HELOC. If you want to get in touch with him there in the comment section. Jeff O'Toole saying, I will fly. I am licensed. There you go. Okay, Daniel's saying the average price of a house where I live in Northern California is about $200 large. Yeah, there's pockets of affordability. I'm not saying the whole state of California. Like if you go to Barstow, if you go to like Northern California and other parts, yeah, you could find. So we got Mike Martin's father. Unfortunately, my father does not speak English, so please, Mike, please tell the audience that your father helped you pay for half of your house. Okay. Peter is saying Canberra is a fictionist city built halfway between Sydney and Melbourne because neither city would allow the other to become the capital on the Federation on the year 1901. Interesting little tidbit of history there from Peter. Which he will be joining us hopefully on Saturday if he doesn't get arrested. Let's look at Sydney's Opal Towers.
Sydney's troubled Opal Tower face a longer...
Now, for people that just came off a rock or don't know what's happening or haven't been following my channel, Sydney's Opal Towers are a bunch of shoddy buildings built on a garbage dump or some unsettled land. And now the condos are falling apart. And after 4 months of people move in 4 months later, the condos are falling apart. Here's the problem with this now. A lot of people in America are reaming me out saying, well, Mike, what's your problem? It's just a condo. People just lost a little bit of money. No, these are $1 million for a 2-bedroom. So Relax. All right, here we go.
Wait to return home with a report into the cracking fiasco reportedly delayed. Live to 7 News reporter Samantha Brett. Sam, they were expecting to be able to go home today.
They were expecting to be able to come back today to the Opal Tower here, Angie. Unfortunately, this is now the 18th day that these 300-some residents haven't been able to return home. We know that the New South Wales government commissioned a report by 2 engineers to try and look into exactly what caused these cracks that started on New Year's Eve. That report was due out today. The residents were told that as soon as that report came down, they were able to return. Unfortunately now, due to that delay, there will be another 4 to 6 weeks until they will be allowed back in. I was actually here on that New Year's Eve when these residents heard these cracks. They were first told they were only on level 10. Now they have been told that it is throughout this building. In fact, we now understand that 50 of these apartments have been absolutely destroyed. The residents, they're frustrated, they're tired, they just want to come home. We understand that they will be having a meeting this weekend to look at their legal options. We also know from the Daily Telegraph today that the New South Wales government was actually paid $48 million by the developers to build on this land. So they will also be looking at whether the government is liable. Angie?
Thank you, Sam.
What's up, BitConnect? Okay, Steve, I see you in the comments. You want to come on the show or what? I need you on here. I need you to fill in the... Let me know what's going on.
The way it used to be. No. Be connect.
I wonder if he's a real estate agent now. I wonder if that guy's a real estate agent now.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if he's doing real estate agency now. And where's my buddy over at AMTV? AMTV, there he is. There he is, AMTV. I love this guy. I used to watch this guy all the time. And then he got into this whole, the most important video. Oh, my favorite is this. Community. I love this. He posted this the other day. Guys, the world's gonna end. Buy my shutdown box, emergency food, water filter, first aid kit. Wow. Hey guys, time is now to prepare. I would recommend, if you watch my video, that you should buy one of those big buckets of mac and cheese for, I think, $30 for a huge bucket of mac and cheese. 25 pounds worth, I think, is better. But yeah, big government kills, because the problem with big government slows things down. I think Australia needs a government shutdown big time and start getting rid of the jobs that are just leeching. Peter's telling me it's got 500,000 civil servants in Canberra. Nightmare. Big government kills. I'm sure Canada knows all about big government. Yeah, 500. Here we have, let's say, government workers here. A majority of them don't even speak English. That's the problem. And no, they don't speak French, so don't get smart on me. They just don't speak, like, people working for the Department of Motor Vehicles, the people working for, like, a lot of people that I know, like, not here at Merritt, but I'm talking about in big cities. No one speaks English. Most people, English is like their third language. Guys, here it is, the shutdown box from Chris Green. The world's going to end. Prepare yourself. Have this ready. Let's see what happens when you buy now. Oh, it won't let you buy it? I'm clicking it. Look. The best way to make profits is to scare the public. The propaganda machine is now open. AMTV. Wow. So let me know if you guys have picked up anything from AMTV. I'd like to know if any of their products. This is the course that's running live. If you guys, anybody's running the, I would just like to know. Anyways, Steve, are you there, buddy? You want to come on the show? I know Steve's been blocking people on the show. Where's my favorite video? Oh my god, did he take him down? Oh, he took the video down. The one I kept bringing up every mic in the night. I kept bringing it up. So
get this video out. Make sure you're taking preparations. In fact, we just launched at the AMTV store, store.amtvmedia.com. Click the link below, the AMTV shutdown box. Get everything that you need. Get 84 servings, the essentials of food, entrees, plus breakfast items, plus
$300 US? It's like $390 Canadian. Wow. Woo! Oh, Mike Martin's big brother in the house. Anyways, guys. Okay, can anyone come on the show? I don't care. Let's get somebody on the show here.
And let me tell you that I am actually earning around $1,400 on an everyday basis, 7 days a week. What?
Didn't this guy know that this thing was all, like, fixed? Mike Martin's brother wants to call in. I don't have a brother. I don't have a brother.
I am right now independently, financially independently. I am saying to so many people who said that this was going to be a con artist game, that this was going to be a scammer game.
This is good.
You're going to lose all your money.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
wife still doesn't believe in me.
But his wife apparently divorced him the other day. Yep. Yeah, so Peter in the comments is informing us. Yeah, I want to see Ty. Where's that guy? Ty. What's this guy? Ty Lopez? Oh, I love this guy, man. I just I'm in my house. And this is what's happening with this housing crisis. This is what's happening with this housing crisis, people. It's exactly what I'm telling you. BitConnect, all this crap we're seeing, buy this, buy that, this, that. It's all this, you know, a big buildup. And then now, the article I just read. Right here. There's no need to lose confidence. Why 2019 will be a good time to buy. That's in Sydney and Melbourne. Lose confidence. It's part of business. Consumer confidence. What's his name? Ty Lopez, right? Oh, I spelled Ty wrong. Hey guys, man, I'm just here. I'm just here with my Lamborghini, and hey guys, I'm just here with my Lamborghini, and I just want to talk about my Lamborghini. And
here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini.
So you just bought a Lamborghini, just bought it.
Here, it's fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what I like a lot?
Why is the car so dirty? Did he just drive it somewhere? I guess up in the hills?
More than materialistic things, knowledge. In fact, I'm a lot more proud of these 7 new bookshelves that I had to get installed to hold 2,000 new books that I bought.
Really? This one's more entertaining because you actually see things. This one is a lot of just buy, and join my course. And then this one here is the best. BitConnect. Okay, who wants to come on the show, guys? Trends in the housing market tonight. Peter says I could get out of my swimwears and call you in 5 minutes if you want, Mike. Yeah, anybody. Steve the plumber's not here. I don't know where he is. He probably took off. I hope he's not in jail.
Days a week. What?
This guy's probably one of the most entertaining guys on
But then they never touched it.
Oh, this guy never touched it. What do we got here? We got... What else we got going on here? Oh, my favorite is this. This is what I think of the new housing market, how things are going to bounce back. Right here. This is the housing market right here. And this is where it's going to go. Housing market's too heavily tied to the GDP. You're going to start seeing countries start huge amounts of civil unrest. People are just going to be tired. The people are going to, you know... Steve, I see you blocking people. Are you there? There we go. There's the housing crisis right there. That's what it is. Yep, Sydney. There's no need to lose confidence in why 2019 is a good time to buy. You got to give me a break. Let's see what's happening in New Zealand. What is happening in the New Zealand housing market right now? Any big news? I know they're banning foreigners from buying. Housing New Zealand bin policy saves $270,000 but compromises. Housing New Zealand clients fought to get out of dangerous properties. There's a lot of dangerous properties there because a lot of those houses are built on, made out of popsicle sticks and shredded Chinese newspaper and rotten apple cores. What the housing downturn in Australia could mean for New Zealand. I read that one last week. December sales fall to a 7-year low. Here we go. Here we go. This is good news for the New Zealand proper that's living in a car or that's being put up in a hotel and that works 2 full-time jobs and is basically homeless. December house sales fall to a 7-year low. The final month of the year saw the lowest number of residential properties sold in December month in 7 years, according to the latest data from Real Estate Institute of New Zealand. The number of houses sold across the country in December fell to 5,330, 12.9% fewer than the year earlier. In Auckland alone, the number of properties sold fell 24.3% on the same month previous year, the lowest in a decade. Well, December is usually a quiet month as people focus on Christmas holidays. Wow. So a little bit of good news. I think it has a lot to do with New Zealand banning foreigners from buying. If I go to New Zealand, I shouldn't be able to walk in there and buy a house. Yeah, I go anywhere. I shouldn't be able just to walk anywhere and say, hey, I'm buying a house. What are they going to tell me? Like I tried in Mexico in 2 different states. 2 different states in Mexico, and they told me to get lost because I was a foreigner. You can't buy here. You're not Mexican. Are you crazy? Housing New Zealand works with blah, blah, blah. Don't know what that says. Students' desperation for rental properties hitting new highs in Wellington. Yep, a lot of students in New Zealand studying are having a really tough time finding a place to live. Fitch sees Auckland continuing to record low housing price growth. I'm surprised the stock market hasn't taken a huge hit with the shutdown. Markets are surprisingly doing well. Oh, that's loud. Hold on a sec, guys. Students' desperation for rental properties hitting new highs in Wellington. I can hear myself. Students in New Zealand. Yes, I can hear myself. Really tough time finding a place to live. Hello. Fitch sees Auckland continuing you there? To record low housing price growth. Wow, I sound pretty cool on the feedback there. Are you there, Peter? Yep. Can I see you or no? Or are you naked? Pete, are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, you there? Can you hear me? Let me call him back. Usually when I call him back, it works better. So let's call Pete Moneybags Otizinger and see what he's got going on right now. I see Kevin Thompson right now in the comments. Kevin
Hello.
Thompson is designed to make a difference. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good, good, good. Okay.
Let me just get you up on the screen. I haven't got your YouTube up. I just want to see the comments. See
Yeah,
what's
Kevin
going down.
Kevin Thompson's here to make a difference, so...
Handheld junkie. I'm still just out of the pool, so here we go. My hair's a bit messy. Never mind. Handheld junkie. Just try to get you up. Yep, live. All right, here we go. Cool. All right, go for it, Mike. Have you got my picture up? No. Hold on. Yep, I'll get my camera. Turn video on.
I can't see you. Maybe it's broken.
No, it doesn't seem like it. It should be up now. It's like got the little orange light.
No, I just
Turn
see
video
myself.
Oh well. You can hear me though.
I could hear you perfectly. Yeah, it says no camera. Here, let me call you back again.
All right.
So we're going to try and get Peter here live from Sydney, Australia, where the poop is really hitting the fan there really badly. I'm not sure what to tell you guys, but why these people are being massaged into believing that things are going to get better when I know, and people should know this by now, that things are not getting any better. So, yeah. All right, let's try this again with Petey.
Here we go.
Okay, you there, Peter? I can't see you.
Why not?
I don't know.
Damn it.
That's
I'm
okay.
not sure why. Just seems like everything's plugged in. Never mind. I'll have a look at it later. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, no biggie. How are things? Everything okay with you?
Yeah, pretty good, man. Just got the big holidays on at the moment, so we're just, having a bit of time off, swimming. Kids are loving it. Having another, 2 weeks pretty much before my daughter goes back.
Mm-hmm.
How about you guys? You got time offs over, no doubt. Over there, you've till the 7th or something, is that it? In January,
Yeah, everybody went back to work at school, and then now it's the 16th, and everybody's back to the same day-to-day, basically.
Yeah, we've got a big heat wave here, which is pretty disturbing. A lot of the dams out in the western part of New South Wales and other parts of the country are drying up really quickly. So we're going to have huge issues soon with water supply for the farmers. So, yeah, it's going to be nasty on that front. I think one of the big dams is 13%, other one's 1%, another one's 3%. They've had some big fish die-offs in the rivers in the inland because of the water not having enough oxygen in it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we do get these extremes. I don't know if Canada has extreme weathers like Australia, but we have that thing, do you know, the El Nino and El Nina, when the weather patterns change and you get, very, say, dry and then very wet periods for several years. They, alternate when it's wet down the, I think, west coast of South America, that it's dry in Australia, and when we have wet time in Australia, they have it dry down the west coast of South America. It's that pattern, the circulation of the waters. I think also you're going to see in the future that maybe that, how would you say, that current that takes the warm water up from Canada along the east coast of Canada up to Britain and Scotland. Mm-hmm. That might break down if the ice sheets keep melting in Greenland and that cold water keeps flowing down into the North Atlantic. That might have some sort of effect and bring a lot more colder weather to Northern Europe. So, yeah, it's just been pretty extreme, the weather.
Yes.
But anyway, You know,
Okay.
we've had 47 degrees in a lot of Western New South Wales the last couple of days, so it's pretty hot.
Why
Once
don't
it
you
gets
send
to
7 degrees up here? I need 7 degrees up here, buddy.
Yeah, we could spare 7. That's not a problem. I mean, even 40 is too much for many people. So, yeah, a lot of people are just sort of hanging indoors with the air conditioning and trying to stay out of the sun. But we have a pool, so we just use it at the moment because it's good. The kids love it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, what else?
Okay, well, I want to ask, what do you have for updates on the Opal Tower? Anything you find out?
Oh, it was just that they said it's going to be still probably several months to remediate all the work, and a lot of the people aren't going to be lent money anymore. If they want to purchase one of those apartments that hasn't been sold yet. So it's pretty drastic as far as trying to even sell one now. If you have bought one, it's not looking good. There were some people that went in there and made, how would you say, usurious offers of like $1 just to take it off people's hands. So that's basically just a walk away from it type offer. You don't have any problems as far as maybe the strata coming in and levying $100,000 against you to actually try and fix the problem in the future. So, yeah, I mean, what can you do? Those people are basically, they might just be totally screwed as far as their life is concerned if they've taken out a huge mortgage. How can they get rid of that, liability now? You just don't know if anyone's going to come in and fix everything up and whether anyone's going to want to even buy it in the future because the press around it has been so bad. And now I think everyone that's even looking at buying a condo or an apartment in the future will be looking at it twice. And so there's a flood of new construction coming on the market over the next couple of years because it's already in the pipeline, and who knows how they're going to sell all that, especially at the prices to actually break even or make a profit. I think that's going to just add to the downturn in the future. So yeah, I mean, we obviously went crazy here with just building too much, and now a lot of the Chinese people, they'll probably start to think twice about pulling their money out before too long, because if they start levying property taxes on investment properties, which a lot of the governments have already started looking at, and they've already done that in Queensland, well, hey, you're just, like I said, a milk cow to basically be milked for extra taxes, especially if it's not the place that you live in. Those sort of places, they're easily, identified. If no one lives in them or lives in them for less than 6 months of the year, you will get hit with a property tax in Queensland now. And once one government starts doing that, you can be sure other state governments are going to start looking at it as well. So it actually becomes a liability for a lot of people if they haven't got positively geared properties and they were just looking at those places appreciating in capital value forever, because they're not going to anymore. That capital appreciation phase is over. So sure, if you're making money on it from the rent, that's another thing, you can hold on to it. But if you're hoping to just make money on it from going up in price, that's already a losing game. It's he who gets out first gets out best now.
Pete, what about the people? I mean, these people are in a really bad state because, one, they bought at the top of the market because they just moved in 4 months ago. But I'm not gonna argue that, because you know why? Because a lot of them bought before they broke ground 3-4 years ago. So they do see a little bit of liquidity in there, a little bit of equity built in, but now it's gone to nothing.
Yeah, I mean, there's all these transactional taxes as well that you've got to understand are built into when you buy a property. Like there might be, a stamp duty of around 5%, and then there's always some sorts of ongoing strata fees that you've got to cover as well. So you've got to sort of build that into any price for rental.
Strata.
And rental prices are coming down. Yeah, I mean,
Strata is like organized mafia.
Yeah, you basically don't get a choice. And a lot of people are saying now that people were very casual about actually getting involved in their strata. So they didn't actually participate in a lot of the meetings. But now people are starting to think, oh man, I better start going to some of those meetings and finding out what they're talking about and that. Because they might get hit for huge repair bills in the future. So a lot of people were just willing to let someone else decide all that for them. But now, the advice is start enlisting in your own little strata meetings and going and seeing what's being discussed so that you actually have some input and find out what those monies are going towards, because you might be up for some, serious money in the future in some of these apartment buildings, and you want to have an input. So I think a lot of people were very casual about it. I mean, we bought many years ago, back in 2002, we bought a villa and held on to it for like 8 years and sold it again up on a place just north of Sydney called the Central Coast, because they were going to build a marina there and they were going to do it all up and that, and it never came about, but they did it about 10 years after we'd sold it. But we just sort of paid the strata fees and rented it, and we didn't really go to any of the meetings. So I suppose most people are like that. I don't know. I've never sort of really been in a situation where I've lived in an apartment myself. The only place I ever bought was a villa, and I never went to any of those meetings. So I don't know. I mean, most people are probably pretty casual about it. They just until they get a $5,000 extraordinary bill for repairs, and then they just freak out and go, what the hell, $5,000 or something like that. I've had a friend who had that, some crumbling stucco on the walls, and everyone just got hit for $5,000 out of nowhere, and he was like, what? And I was like, man, how can they do that to you? But apparently they can. If they think repairs need doing, they're just going to send everyone a bill for however many $1,000 they think those repairs are necessary. So yeah, that's another surprise sort of extra
I'll be
bit of
straight
fun.
up. I'll be straight up. You get hit with a 5 large lien. Sometimes they put the lien against your existing tenancy or some crap like that. It's a nightmare. Guys, if you don't have to be in a condo and you could be in a house, please really reconsider getting out of a condo or not, because the strata fees are not worth it. A lot of people that are in condos, they're like, oh, strata is great. Why? Because you dingbat, you bought into a strata council. It's a nightmare. And you know what I noticed, and I've seen this. Strata council presidents of the building with all this money for renovations and all this money to do stuff for some bizarro reason. And every strata council president I have ever met has either been like super rich and they work construction or they work delivering newspapers. But for some reason, because they're strata council presidents, they're walking around super rich. How does that even add up?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously to some people, like an extra $5,000 or $10,000 a year isn't much, but like to me, it's like way more than I pay for my council rates. My council rates are basically collection of the garbage bins, and maybe what else do they do for us? I don't know. What do councils do? Do you have councils that are like local government areas, and they do your waste collection, and they just come out and tidy up the curb, and they make sure the gutters are clean with a machine once in a while, that sort of thing, and whatever. And then you've got your water bills, like water's probably $1,000 a year, and then you've got your electricity, which in Australia is your hydro, and in Canada that's maybe it can be pretty expensive now. They charge us a lot. I mean, for a country that's really rich in natural resources, it's pretty outrageous. I mean, I get away with probably $400 a quarter, but some people are up to $800 or $1,000
You're
a
paying
quarter.
$400 a month for water?
No. I'm $250 3 months for water.
Okay.
So $250 for 3 months of water, and then about $400 for 3 months of electricity. So it's not that bad, but I've got a solar system as well, which defrays the cost, and then I've got one of those Tesla Powerwall batteries. So when we mostly rack it up, it'd probably be in the winter months when there isn't as much solar, and I've got the pool filter, which runs 6 hours a day. So most people wouldn't have that, so that's a fair expense, I suppose, when you're running 6 hours with pool filter every day. Mm-hmm. But they've had a lot of complaints about electricity here because it's been so expensive for a lot of people. A lot of people just don't sort of have that $800 or $1,000 for 3 months of electricity. And, it's like in England where they've got old people that are on pensions. It's people that aren't earning money mostly that are feeling it, because these are fixed costs that don't go away and they have to live with them constantly. And when you retire and you go onto some sort of old age pension, that's usually not a lot of money. I think the old age pension here for two people is maybe $20,000 a year. So that's like $400 a week. So you start to really count your pennies, when you've only got $400 a week to live on. So yeah, I don't know. In Canada, do you have like an old age pension for the old people?
Yeah, we do.
Like,
we
if
do.
they haven't
But they're
worked,
siphoning it right now, and they're canceling it. They canceled my dad's old age pension for some bizarre reason. He just doesn't have a pension anymore. They cancel it.
Yeah, they usually do an asset test, and they discount the house that you live in, but they look at all of your other assets. So if you've got your RSP or you've got superannuation, they look at that. And I think once you get sort of 600,000 or 500,000 of assets above and beyond the home you live in, that's it. Basically, you've got to spend that money before you qualify for an old age pension. So as soon as you bring it below sort of $500,000, then you qualify for the old age pension again. So yeah, it's a scaled sort of entitlement as well. You can actually, like at 200,000 or whatever of assets, get the full pension, and at 600,000 you'll get $1 or something. And so as you basically spend all the money of everything that you've built up over your lifetime, you'll get more from the government. But it penalises people that have basically paid into that system all of their lives, and then at the end they don't get anything out of it anyway. So it's better just to be someone that does nothing and ends up broke, and then you just apply as a broke person and get the full pension, even if you've never paid into it. So I think that's a lot of Western countries are like in that position where they've got all these immigrants that have come in and they never work, and then they just go straight on to all of these public benefits that they've never paid in for. And it's just like people are standing there just going, what the hell? Because it's a very long wait for most people to get any sort of public housing here as well. I don't know what the wait is. If you're like homeless, say in Canada, and you apply to the government for somewhere to live, would you get it the next day? A lot of the people, they're going to wait, months or even years until they get something free. But then, you've got all these people that come in as immigrants or whatever, and bang, they just get put up straight away. And hotels or whatever, even in Canada, like it's like, wow, man, imagine that. You just arrive and you just get put up in a hotel somewhere. That'd be like amazing. But yeah, it's sort of just for people that have never even paid into these systems. So I think that's all going to come under a lot of pressure too in the coming years as governments run short of revenue. They're going to have to start taxing people.
Peter, I need to interject here, please. The governments won't run short on money. They'll just raise your property tax.
Yeah, well, that is obviously, where you just stand out because you've got an asset, and you've obviously, you're rich because you own a property and it's an investment property. And so, yeah, we can just, basically levy something against that. And they've got, several up to 3 taxes now on properties in some states here. So that's all just been brought in recently. So I think that's another thing where you might see a lot of the Chinese suddenly go, ooh, wow, hold on a minute. Is it even worth holding on to a property in countries which are going to start taxing property heavily? So you might even get that in Canada where, if you've got, say, lots of people in in Vancouver that aren't even living there, and they bring in some sort of property tax, or like Paris in France, what are those people going to do? They're just going to, at some stage, go, it's not even worthwhile hanging on to that property. Just ditch it. Just, sell it. So that's, going to put extra
lots of
people trying to get out as well.
Yeah, lots of people. Let me know, Steve. Let me know in the comments if you're ready to come on. And
yeah, I'll get my camera fixed. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Steve, are you there, buddy?
Down.
It's okay. Steve doesn't even go on camera himself, so don't worry about it. Steve is undercover working for the Mike Martin's channel, getting us the inside scoop on what's happening with the foreclosure properties that he's been going to like every day, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's just gonna use the can really quickly, no problem.
I don't know. That's a strange question. He could probably answer that himself. He should know if he's able to do that. Can I piss quickly? I would say yes, if you have to. Kevin Thompson's.
Yeah, Kevin Thompson's always in the rallying up people. I don't know how this person makes so many fake accounts in the comments. Wow, I don't know how you do it, dude. I don't if you invested this energy and time with these fake accounts you're making, you could invent a longer lasting light bulb and you could be filthy rich.
There must be something attractive about your show, though, that he likes. So there's that positive about it.
Yeah.
But look, yeah, other than that, it's pretty quiet in Australia at the moment. I think it's just that silly season of the summertime when everyone's on holidays and the parliamentarians are away as well. They get a nice long break. They probably come back in February. So it's just that.
Hopefully
I
they'll
had
pass.
that French,
Hopefully they'll pass a
French
pile of
friend.
bills.
Oh no, they're on holidays for another few weeks. They get good holidays. The parliamentarians, they only come back in another month or so probably. It's good being a politician. I'm sure it's the same in Canada. You get a lot of money for not doing a lot. And what was I going to say? Apart from that, sort of had my French friend that was here one night when you came by and you spoke to Patrick, and he had 3 people through on his house. They were sort of wanting 1.25 million and they got offered 1.1. They had another 3 families come through on this last Saturday because pretty much it's dead at this time of year, even though it's summer, it's holidays, so not a lot of people go out looking for houses, but they had 3 families through. No one made an offer, so it's just dead as wood here. There's just nothing happening as far as real estate's concerned. And I think that'll only get worse. We have federal election coming up in the first week of May. So they'll try a few tricks trying to get people to go out and get some interest-free loans and try and pump that housing bubble up until, the May elections are passed. And then after that, I think it'll just be let fall. We'll see where the chips may fall after that, I just don't think they can prop it up for very much longer, even with all the talk and that. There's just no interest with people going out and buying at this stage. And that Opal Tower thing has just made everyone even more cautious. So, people are, gullible to a point, but I think at this stage they're, getting very, very cagey about it, and they realise that things have gotten out of control and that there's actually really no point at buying at this stage if you don't have to. So it's just best to sort of step back and just watch things unfold now.
Okay.
Just be very patient.
Most important question I need to ask you before I let you, very, very important question. Did you buy the AMTV shutdown box with 84 servings of food?
You know what? I would buy some of that, but, we're disadvantaged here in Australia because, you get a lot of stuff from America, and I bought some long life food just for, the nuclear war that could come, if it all turns to complete and utter shit. And, they have in America a lot of that, 25 or 30-year food life, boxes of whatever mac and cheese you've got over there. But they do have other stuff which is better, and it sort of just adds water, but you could store it in your garage. But, I wouldn't mind buying that. I don't know what it costs. How much is it for one of those?
He wants $3 American.
300. Yeah, I mean, that's about what you'd pay for it here in Australia as well. But I think it's just because you manufacture it over there, it's much more easily available. It is sold here, but it's, I think, a little bit more expensive. They do have some of their own stuff here that they make as well, that long life food. Because, I'm a bit paranoid, there could be God knows, an EMP attack, electromagnetic pulse or something like that. I don't know, and you just lose electricity for a couple of months or whatever happens. And so I've stored that sort of stuff away. But, there's a lot more variety available, I think, probably in America and Canada for all that sort of thing, because the market is that much bigger, because our market's pretty small here when you think about it. We've only got 25 million people. And in the States, you got, 320 million plus another 35 million in Canada. So that's a much bigger market. But I mean, they do sell some of that stuff in Amazon Australia here, and we have Costco. Do you have Costco? It's like one of those.
Yeah, we have Costco. And I'm looking at it right now. Places. Costco can't keep its 27-pound emergency mac and cheese bucket in stock. Guys, I did this video yesterday. Take a look at it. Costco mac and cheese. Is it the sign of times where mac and cheese buckets are really hard to stay in stock? I'd like to know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not paranoid about that sort of super, but I mean, yeah, it's interesting to know whether people are actually just buying that to eat it now or whether they are storing it away for something that could happen, down the track. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I've got storage of water in the house, and I've got, I think, honey, which keeps forever. I've got tin food and all that sort of thing. So I think we're probably good for 2 to 3 weeks before we would start getting into trouble. I'm not sure how prepped up a lot of people are, but yeah, it's interesting to read that, if those things are selling pretty quickly. It'd be interesting to see for me. My main question
is, did you buy the AMTV shutdown bucket?
No, I didn't, because it would need to be shipped out from America, and it would probably be $100 of shipping. So See, that's the
I'm
problem.
being sarcastic, Peter. You're supposed to play along with me.
I know that, but I'm just saying, even if I decided to, it would be like, I'd probably go for something more local because of the shipping cost involved. But, my big question to you is, Mike, what happens if the government shutdown in America rolls on for another month and they run out of those EBT, cards or, food stamps? What happens then when you've got 38 million people relying on handouts from the government?
Oh,
that's
civil unrest.
Really
civil
gets
unrest.
interesting.
Civil unrest. You're going to see it's a sign of time. Civil unrest. You're going to start to see people taking to the streets. You're going to see a lot of rioting, a lot of upset people, a lot of mad people. Yeah. And Walking Journey saying, Mike, talk about an EBT shutdown. Peter, find out what you can about the EBT shutdown from Mike in the Night on Saturday. I appreciate that. And let's get an update on what's happening in France and where it's spreading. And let's get an update on what's happening with the Opal Tower if you get any updated news, okay?
Yeah, I'll go and scan the news for that and ask around what's happened with the latest with the Opal Tower. But yeah, I mean, there's some interesting stuff going down in America. I just want to know, is RBG still alive or not, Mike?
RBG?
Yeah, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the Supreme Court Justice. Is that like Weekend at Ginsburg's? Do you remember that Weekend at Bernie's?
Yes.
When Bernie was dead?
Yeah, but they kept him around for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's like, is that Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg dead? And they're just keeping her around for a few weeks? Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You know what? We're going to have to get into some more Americana this Saturday. So we're going to brush up on some Americana and what's going on. And then I really hope the one, let me get a beer. Hold on. What's her name? Let me get a beer.
Oh, that's Pocahontas. That's Warren.
Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, that's the Apache.
Oh, I got to play this like once a month.
Hold on a sec. I'm going to get me a beer.
Yeah, let's rub shoulders together. Let me get myself a beer here. Yeah, we're so much friends.
Get me
yeah, and what I find ridiculous is, like, seriously, how much money do they waste in America on all sorts of stuff? I mean, like, probably 1 week of operating in the Middle East would be costing them, like, I don't know, but, like, let me just throw a figure out there, like, say, $10 billion to operate in the Middle East for a month. But they can't find $5 billion for a wall. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just an absolute joke that they are saying they cannot find $5 billion. They would piss $5 billion away in an hour over there sometimes with whatever, nonsense they conduct. It is just so political at the moment and just so anti-Trump. And it's just so amusing to watch it, just the hypocrisy. And apparently some people, they broke into Nancy Pelosi's house and they went over the wall. Now, she's got a wall around her house to keep people out, but like walls apparently are bad, but she's got a wall around her house. And these people, they broke in and they brought these illegal immigrants into her compound and they asked whether they could stay there and camp there in tents. Isn't that funny? So when it's like other people coming into America illegally, that's fine, but you can't come over the wall into my house and camp on my front lawn. That's no good. That's different. It's like the double standard is just like that. Do you want to put them up in your bedrooms or something? No. It's like never like that, is it? It's like imagine Emmanuel Macron.
No, but
coming out and then sleep at my place, with all these illegals. There's no way he's going to do that.
But you know what, Peter? To be very frank with you, there's hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage right now, on YouTube that you could find of Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Slick Willie Clinton, because he has a double persona. All these people saying that we need a wall, and Obama saying we need a wall. A wall is the best thing. Look, here, I'll even bring it up so you know I'm not lying. Holy crap. Look. Let me see here. We need a wall.
We need a wall.
We need tough on border
The system's
security.
still broken.
Australia's
To
dug
truly
a big
deal
moat,
with this issue,
so that's sort of the
Congress
same.
needs to act. Fix our broken immigration system.
You need to fix a
It will
broken
build on what
immigration
we've
system.
done
That's what
and
Obama's
continue
saying.
to strengthen our borders. It will make sure that businesses and workers are all playing by the same set of rules. And it includes tough penalties for those who don't. It's fair for middle-class families by making sure that those who are brought into the system pay their fair share in taxes and for services. And it's fair for those who try to immigrate legally by stopping those who try to skip the line. It's the right thing to do. Now, this bill isn't perfect. It's a compromise.
So why are they so against the wall when they were for the wall? Hillary Clinton brought up the wall. Everyone brought up the wall. It's the best thing. We need a wall, 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 wall. And during the Clinton, right here, Bill Clinton.
All illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting.
So anyways, we're getting severely off topic here, Peter.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I just thought it was funny. I was just thinking that was like a couple
So
of
guys,
days
don't
ago. I
forget to
was
join
laughing
us.
about
That was just a little brief clip on Mike in the Night. Don't forget to join us Saturday night for Mike in the Night. We're bringing up topics here in our little speakeasy channel. Peter, do you like how we have the channel fronted as a video game review channel?
Yeah, I mean, they said actually it's going to get worse than that. They're already bringing out some sort of software that is going to like try and clamp down on anything that's anti-Google, anti-Facebook.
On my channel. It's here.
So within 12 months, and I also watched something from Tommy Robinson. He said the same thing, that's going to be rolled out soon, and that anything dissenting or anti-government or whatever the mainstream media wants to push is basically they're going to affect Google searches. So Google has already been caught out by that. When you do a search on a certain topic, they're going to direct you to the sites that they want you to read about that topic. You can't actually do a free search unless you specifically know what site to go to. They're going to put at the top of those search results what they want you to read. And so you can see that it's not even people imagining that anymore, that it's happening. It is happening. It's just 100% that this, is no longer sort of free media anymore. In most of the Western world, it's all being shaped and distorted to suit certain people that want you to think the way that they, think. And if you don't like the way that they think, well, you will be discriminated against. And
well, you're
you
racist.
will have things happen to you, yeah. And you will like that guy that was talking about the, double helix. And he got stripped of his honours because he apparently was labelled as a racist because different, genetic results resulted in different IQs for different races. And it was proven, scientifically proven, but because it gave different IQ results for different races, he was racist. And it's like these people are just denying scientific facts now. And when that happens, it gets really scary because you're actually denying truths that just are. It's like, the sun, revolves around the earth. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't. It's like the earth revolves around the sun. Oh, yeah, but that's racist. So we're going to make the earth revolve around the sun. The sun revolve around the earth. And it's like, yeah, but we disproved that 500 years ago. We've got to move forward. We've got to accept science is right. But they're going to take us back into that dark age where you no longer can actually accept science for scientific fact. And that gets really scary because that is then you don't know what base you're operating off anymore. And you actually are going to be scared even as a scientist to say certain things. And that's I would say that those sorts of cultures actually will collapse because that is what Muslim cultures used to do, where the Quran will overrule certain scientific facts and things. And you think, yeah, that's retrograde. Sorry about that, but you guys are going to go down until you invite, hundreds of millions of those guys into your countries, and then you're going to go down. Yeah. So it's why are we doing that in the West and inviting these people that want to bring in Sharia law and stuff? I don't think we like that. It's very, very bad. Okay. And I'm sorry if you're racist, but it's just the way I think. It's not a positive step forward.
Okay,
people.
Pete. We'll get you on the show on Saturday to do Mike of the Night, and we can cover all these topics you're talking about.
All right, mate. I'll just say bye for the moment, and hopefully you can get Steve the plumber on. And yeah, all the best from sunny Sydney, Australia. It's been very hot here.
Thank you
so
so
much. Some good weather. I think you've got a snowstorm coming there on the east coast of America. Big
I don't
dump
know
of
what.
snow, but it's missing you in BC.
Yeah,
so like you said, it's a bit better in the west coast of Canada. Less of that snow action in the winter time.
Yeah. Okay, Petey, thanks so much,
All
buddy.
right. Not a problem. Thank you, Mike. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, there's Petey there. He'll be on Saturday night he'll get his camera fixed so we can see him for Mike of the Night, where we discuss just what's going on. It's called NewsGuard, guys. NewsGuard is a thing that's coming soon. It's going to become mandatory, and they're fixing it and working out the tweets in NewsGuard. NewsGuard basically is just like Snopes, but they actually send warnings to me. They send warnings to content creators. And Johnny Blazo in the comment section. All right, guys, Steve the Plumber, where are you, man? I've been calling on Steve the Plumber for the last hour and a half, and he hasn't been replying. What was I going to say? Yeah, guys, don't forget to hit me up in the tip jar. Appreciate it very much. Tip jar, thank you so much. Keep this transmission rolling. What am I at here? Let me check. I want to thank... Who am I thanking this week for... where's his name? Oh, Randy and Vladimir. I want to thank Randy and Vladimir for sending me a donation today. Thank you very much. Made my day. Now we just got to wait for Steve the Plumber to... So guys, in the meantime, while we wait for Steve the Plumber, I'm not sure if he got arrested yet. Not too... Who the hell is this?
It's Kevin Thompson.
Oh, hi, Kevin Thompson.
Don't mind my voice. I'm using a voice changeover machine.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Well, that's nice. How much are you selling your condo for?
It's not for sale.
Oh, I can hear myself talking in return. Are you in a bad area?
I am. I'll call you back in 3 seconds.
Okay, hurry up. Guys, that was Kevin Thompson. Kevin Thompson is a 2-time world champion, guys. Guys, don't forget to check out the Walking Journey will be live after me. Walking Journey has committed to doing a show after me, so Walking Journey will be live. Walking Journey channel, Anthony, will be live. Just checking out things here as I go along. Sorry, guys. Just checking out what work I got to do after this show. Got a bit of work I need to get done. So we covered quite a bit tonight in the show, and we're going to wrap things up with Steve the Plumber. And he's got a lot of inside scoop on what's going on. So Walking Journey's asking if Kevin Thompson, is that you? And, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm at 7,399 subscribers. Let's see if I lost one in the meantime. I'm still at 7,399. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Get out there and share one of my videos. Australian mortgage prison in danger. Countries using housing market to prop GDP. Underwater mortgages, top 6 countries. Glass panel explodes on balcony in Melbourne. Housing global disaster, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, blah, blah, blah. A lot of good videos here with a lot of views. Australia, housing talk, rate cuts, holiday debts. Toronto and Vancouver real estate see a huge drop. This one, I got Walking Journey on the thing. This one's a good one. Police in Canada now could demand a breath test in your house. Walking Journey, if you're watching the show, police could demand a breath test in Canada inside your house. They could come in your house by law and check your breath to make sure you're not drunk. It's right here. Here's the video I did the other day. Good. Breath samples at home. Police in Canada now demand breath samples at home. Where are things headed? Look at this. There's no. I didn't leave a link to the article. But it's the article. You can look. You can type this in. Police in Canada now demand breath samples at home. Someone saying this is insanity. And he's saying Mike is correct. It's about nailing the middle class for anything and everything. Yeah, we need to find out why. So technically a police officer could come into my house and see if I've been drinking.
Twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are in the
glorious, super and exciting moment of my life with all of you.
Where the hell is Steve? Mike, Ireland 2040 is scary. Apparently Ireland is targeted to take in 1.4 million African immigrants over the next 20 years. It's like insane. All right, Steve's going to be calling back right now. Yeah, no, Walking Journey has stopped coming up in my feeds too. I don't know why. I used to get a notification every time Walking Journey every time Walking Journey was live, I would get a notification. Now I'm not getting any notifications. Guys, you know AMTV is selling this. This is really good.
Plus breakfast items, plus an emergency survival kit,
meals, servings. This
plus
is really
a
good from AMTV. If you need to survive.
Industry shuts down for more than 2 days. Grocery stores are completely empty. So you're going to want to have food. You're going to want to have water. And if you're one of the millions of Americans out there that doesn't have food storage, you're going to want to get this box. Again, it's shutdownbox.com or click the link below.
Yeah. There's a link below. This is for the shutdown box. You get granola strawberry crunch in it. It's got a shelf life of 4 weeks. I got some mail delivery system here, Steve. Who the hell is this?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. What happened?
Doing excited.
What happened to Kevin Thompson?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
He just called in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard he can't, his condo's not for sale because if he sells it, he's, can't really qualify or get another mortgage or, doesn't want to buy into this market that is a downward trend in terms of sales and pricing within the GTA, and I don't blame him.
Yeah. Okay, break it down for us. What's going on? What's the scoop? What's the inside scoop, Steve? What do you got to tell us?
It's a little bit of the same. To be honest with you, Mike, things are falling into place quite nicely. Like I said, the last time around we had spoken. But we have naturally some things that are coming to fruition, such as, our overall economy. And I guess you could say, if you look at Vancouver, and I've started to look at Vancouver more and more, and I find Vancouver with prices just declining at record levels, and Toronto naturally following suit. and the data is there to support that to be true. I mean, as a country, we have some major issues. Put aside the immigration aspect of things, and the current recession that we're more than likely already in full throttle. We just don't have the data extrapolated to confirm or deny that. But anyhow, without digressing, we got a problem with oil. We also have a problem with the next biggest export, or the biggest export, and that's going to be cars.
Oh, well, we're screwed. The housing, the auto industry, consumer confidence is down. Auto industry is taking a good kick in the pants. It's not looking good, Steve, for anybody and for anything and anyone. Every single human being will be affected by this. And everyone laughs at me when I say it. Oh, Mike, I'm homeless. It doesn't. Yeah, it will affect you if you're homeless, if you're couch surfing, if you're renting, if you own. Everybody is going to be affected by this.
Yeah, so obviously there are different levels, and to what magnitude we're not really sure. All I can say is it's pretty clear that if you bought a house in 2015, 2016, 2017, and definitely in 2018, you're probably going to be losing more money than you will than the average person will make in their lifetime, as a whole. Because I mean, let's face it, if house prices from the are $1 million, $1.2 million, and they go down $300,000-$400,000, keep in mind, that $300,000-$400,000 is actually $600,000 or $800,000 because of our taxation system.
Right. Well, Steve, I have two words to tell you. Richmond Hill.
Go ahead, explain.
Well, they've gone down from $1.6 million houses to like $800,000 now.
Yeah, that's very true, or very close to it.
Yeah, it's very close to, like, it's phenomenal what happened there. This article I brought up earlier really peed me off. From Australia, there is no need to lose confidence. Why 2019 is a good time to buy. That's today's article. Why do they keep
that article?
It's by the Domain from Australia.
Okay.
And it was posted today. There is no need to lose confidence. Why 2019 is a good time to buy. Who are they fooling? Who are they trying to... Why? People read this junk and they believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. Now, this is from Australia?
Yeah.
Now, did Peter comment on this? Is this like, whoever wrote this, is this bought and paid for by organized real estate?
Oh,
I know he's a brilliant man and he's up on his stuff, so I wasn't sure.
Oh, it's definitely bought and paid for. This is all garbage. Why don't they tell people, sit on the sidelines and let's see where the bumpy ride's going to head before you jump into a market that's uncertain, that nobody knows how to fix?
Well, Mike, that doesn't get commissions paid out.
Oh, I understand that. Why don't they go maybe cut hair or sweep streets, be a street sweeper or something?
Well, that would basically hurt their psyche as polished real estate professionals in their leased cars and, their made-to-measure suits and everything else.
You know what? My problem is, Steve, is we're right now in a stagnation, deflationary environment right now in all English-speaking countries. A lot of assets are devaluing faster than that brand new car you drive off the lot, dropping like a rock. And now with Canada in trouble with China, and China flexing its muscles, and nobody coming to Trudeau's help, to none of Canada's allies coming to our side, and then with China and Russia, and even rumored India is selling off U.S. treasuries, and then rising debt has surpassed rising wages by, I don't know, a couple of 100%, and this second economic wave we're on right now that's crashing is built on another phony asset bubble from 2007 that wasn't fixed in the first place.
Well, Mike, at this point, I've said it once before, there is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime mass sell-off. And I didn't think it was going to be anytime soon, but all signs point that it could happen anytime between now and the next 1 to 3 years from now, with respect to housing and it being naturally an asset class.
Yeah, okay, fine. But 7% of GDP is in consumption, Steve, in the United States. Okay, 11% of our GDP is from consumption. Everyone's broke, Steve. Okay, we're at the lowest level, in lowest level consumer spending since 1975.
Well, yes, the economy is retracting, and you have to remember something. We really haven't had a reset button since I guess you could say 2008 was a little bit of a reset.
No, it wasn't, because we rebuilt a phony. We built this. We manufactured this deceptive bubble on top of the collapsing one. So we never had a full reset. So a lot of countries never saw a full reset, and that's why Australia's housing market's been in a bull market since 1975.
Okay, fair enough. I agree. I think the last reset button we saw was 89, 90, 91, so to speak, and it took us 7 years.
Yeah.
And I read an article the other day, and it said, it's going to take 7 years for us to basically ride out and go through the recession. I don't believe that at all. I don't think it's going to take 7 years. Keep in mind, in 89, 90, 91, it took the Toronto Star, which is for those of you who don't know that, is a very well, versed newspaper. And back then, that was basically how we got our information. There was no internet. There was no nothing. They were in denial, stage 97, till about 96 or 97. And this time is going to be different because we have social media. And we also have Mike Martins.
Mike Martins. Okay, well, the thing is, within that, we have robotics that's taking away jobs. And how the heck are you going to create an economy under these circumstances with everything that's happening?
Well, Mike, right now, we have a prime minister, and I'm going to try not to get political, but I'm almost forced to do so. We have a prime minister that is the laughing stock of basically everyone laughed at him. He was laughed out of India. He got pushed around like David and Goliath with respect to Trump, and
Saudi Arabia. Don't forget Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, and Saudi Arabia, absolutely. And now China is basically, smacking the crap out of his man purse. And you know what? There's nothing he can do about it. Absolutely nothing he can do about it. Mm-hmm. What is he going to do? Invite them here free of charge? Like, what's his next move?
Yeah. I don't know. What is his next move? That's one of the best questions you could ask one of the best chess players. You know what I'm saying? A lot of good economic strategists think always 5-6 moves ahead because there's so many things working in an economy. And then when you I don't know, like who's giving information to him or who's telling him what to say. I have no idea. And we are okay. I asked this question to Peter, and I asked this to Evan. Now I'm going to ask you. We're living in a state of corporatism, right?
Sure.
We're going to start moving to universalism in the next 10 to 15 years. Okay? What do you think is going to be the first thing that becomes universal on Earth? Is it going to be our money? Is it going to become universal, one currency? Is it going to be healthcare? Is it going to be car insurance? Is it going to be one world, no borders? Is it going to be, what is going to become universal, like gold? Gold has a price, and it's the same price all over the world. It's a universal price. What do you think would be the first thing to go or become universal?
I'm a firm believer out of everything that you just said in terms of the possibilities. I believe it'll be currency within North America. It definitely won't be underneath the Trump administration. Can't speak tonight. Trump administration. But I think our currency will become central, simply due to the fact that we're absolutely nothing with the U.S. or without the U.S. And Trudeau can't fight this battle with China unless he has the help of the U.S. And the U.S. is going to help him for something petty like this. This is definitely going to ride out its course. It's going to affect our trading with China. And there's a number of different things that are completely underlining issues that I don't even want to get into tonight because it's so heavy-handed in terms of tactics. But to answer your question, the long and short of it is I think it's the currency.
So we're going to start seeing universal currencies. Do you see open borders between specific countries or no?
I don't see, in the next 10 to 15 years, I think countries will have to tighten up their borders. I think the U.S. will become so tight, it's not even funny. I also see, to add to that, I think the U.S. will actually go ahead and start pre-screening its visitors to the country, unless it's Canada. And Canada may actually have to stiffen up their rules as well. In actual fact, they do, because although it hasn't been talked about openly, I am a firm believer that that border between Canada and the U.S. is just a gateway for terrorism.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that when you look at how the U.S. was, when the U.S. was taken off the gold system in 1971, it took a massive shift right into capitalism. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
It's so weird how it's so much stuff, Steve. You got robotics coming in to take our jobs. We're in a deflationary, stagnant period. China, all these countries are selling off all U.S. treasuries. The quantitative easing is the biggest manufactured deception in the world. Quantitative easing is the biggest manufactured deception to bail out the banks. And quantitative easing, the problem with it is it's like taking out a second mortgage is what it is, and a lot of people don't see it like that.
Okay. All right, I appreciate that.
And we're in a lot of trouble. And now with debt surpassing wages, I don't know where things are going to go, Steve. I don't know who prepared for this. I prepared for this. I got my butt out of the city. I could get a well on my land. I actually checked with the city. I could get a well in my backyard if I want. I'm just trying to look at going off grid now.
Okay, I appreciate that. And everybody in the comment section, I didn't block Kevin Thompson.
Yeah, I didn't block Kevin Thompson either.
No. I put him on a timeout when he called me a bum, but that's just because I didn't want to call him what I really think of him. But anyhow.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that said, I believe deep down inside. Do you want to know why I think Trudeau hasn't put that pipe in the ground and twin that up?
Mm-hmm. Why?
Because if he does that, that's all that's going to do is prolong what we're going through right now. I think somebody in the background has basically said, you twin that pipeline, we're not going to have the recession that is required here. Things are just going to keep on going and going and going. I think that is a master plan for him to twin it. And I bet you any money, come election time or by election time, he's going to have a plan in place to get those lines in place and actually twin them up.
Can I ask a question? When's the elections, in March or April?
No, it's not. None of the two, I don't think. I think it's
In the summer?
No, it's in the summer.
Okay, so it's this year, 2019, right? So a year before the American one, right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay. So we're going to keep our fingers on the pulse with this election in Canada. We're going to be going live. We're going to get a lot of people on the show live from different parts of the Parliament in Canada to see what's going to happen when it comes to polling. We'll be live here on the show. And then for the American one, we're going to be following too here on the show on Mike of the Night.
Right.
So we're going to be following these. These elections are really make or break when it comes to the next 5 to 10 years and what's going to happen, because I didn't think Canada was going to get as bad as it did. Okay, Steve, can I ask a question? I know we're off topic and it's, housing and blah, 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 but did you see the video I did about how police could go into your house now and breathalyze you?
Yeah, okay, I did see it, yeah.
What the heck is going on? Why could they come in your house now and demand a breath test? If you don't, you'll get arrested and fined. Why don't they do this to bums on the street that are walking around drunk and smashing people's cars to steal money to buy booze? Why aren't they breathalyzing them?
Well, I think it has to do with the way the law was written. I don't know that any police force is actually going to go ahead and muscle their way in to somebody's house for the purposes of demanding breath samples. In actual fact, in order to enter somebody's house lawfully, you either need consent or a warrant.
Well, apparently they can knock on your door and demand a breathalyzer, and if you decline, watch out, you're in trouble.
I understand that, but I think that's more so, in the event that they saw you driving, you got into your driveway, you went in the house, and at that point, the old law stated that they were stonewalled. They couldn't force you to do that because, by the time they went ahead, they got a warrant. Too many variables could have come into place. You know what I mean? You could have gone ahead and drank more alcohol.
Yeah, of course. But they're saying within 2 hours of you arriving.
I'm aware of that. I don't want to comment on it because I don't know enough about it, Mike. But a friend of mine is a criminal defense lawyer, and I will bring that up to him tomorrow when I have dinner with him.
Yeah, bring it up. I want to know what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I ask your criminal defense lawyer if he wants to be on the show anytime.
I don't know if he'll ever agree to that. He's quite busy.
Okay, fine, whatever. You're busy. You work 30 hours a day.
Yeah, you know what? It sometimes it feels that way. But to get back on track in terms of the repossession of foreclosures, it's not that it's ramping up. It's consistent, Mike. Just to give you the lowdown on it. But there's been some interesting stuff. I did speak to you the other night in regards to it. Somebody was very vindictive, and they decided to flood out their house. About 8 hours before we showed up and did what we needed to do, and to the point where there was water coming out the front door and the garage door.
Wow! I'm not laughing because I'm just like, wow! Like, really? Holy smokeroos! Why? Lots of fires and insurance payouts.
No, for sure, absolutely. It's one of those things where it's going to happen. It's going to continue to happen. People are upset. They're pissed off, and I understand where they're coming from. And I get it to a certain extent, but it's not going to solve your issue.
Of course, it's not. Of course. So, Steve, enlighten us one more time, Steve. What are you going to do if JT wins the election?
You know what? Someone asked me that the other day on a serious note. If he wins the election, at this point, I would actually seriously consider leaving Canada.
Yeah.
I would seriously consider leaving Canada and coming in and returning once he's gone. Because he's going to make such a mess like he already has. I mean, you have to remember, he's in command And a politician put it perfectly the other day. He is in command of the Titanic, and it's a sinking ship. And there's no other way to basically describe it. Now he's done his cabinet shuffle. You heard about that, right?
Yes,
Mike?
yes, putting the right people in cabinet for voting purposes.
Sure. And a few other things. So he's done a number of different things in the background, and they're all starting to come to fruition. I mean, he is smart about what he's doing, because if he left those certain people in place, he would absolutely lose the election, because as much as people that are pro-Trudeau may be confident in Trudeau, they are definitely not confident in our finance minister and several other cabinet ministers.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he's going to go down with his ship when it sinks?
Well, he didn't want to call an early election, and at this point, I think he really, truly thinks he's going to win again. And he could win. He absolutely could win. That's only because you have to look at who's at the helm and running the Conservative Party. He's really got to get things going a lot more. He's trying, but he's just not strong enough, in my opinion. I think he'll, regardless if he wins or not, he'll go down as probably the worst Prime Minister of Canada.
I think he might just be removed from the history books, period.
Quite possibly.
I'm scared. This is the first time living in Canada where I am actually in fear. I have children, and I'm like thinking, what did I do? Things are getting pretty bad here. What is happening? How do I turn this around as one person? I got my show. I'm trying to, create conversation and stuff. I'm trying whatever I can. You know what I'm saying? But what can we do as a whole? How could we? We just got to vote these people out.
Very true. And I mean, look how many people he's now royally pissed off as a direct result of bringing that girl over here that barricaded herself in a hotel room in where was it, Bangkok or something?
Thailand, yeah.
Thailand, that's it. I mean, she skipped the line, and she got a free pass, and she's going to get money. She's going to be put up. I'm sure she can do away with the death threats, and she'll have her private security and all those wonderful things. And Trudeau, the bleeding heart that he is, went ahead and said, "Yeah, come on, come." No one else volunteered.
Mm-hmm.
No other country said you can come here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. The housing market's on fire right now in a bad way. Economically, things are just not in the right direction. Everything's not in the right direction, Steve. Usually when oil's not doing well, maybe the automotive industry does a bit better. Maybe even the fast food industry is struggling, Steve. The fast food industry is having troubles.
I agree. A lot of things are receding, from the auto industry to real estate to oil to overall consumer consumption, whether it be fast food, retail. Retail numbers for December and January, December numbers rather. January's aren't out yet. Were not very good.
Yeah. No, not at all. I actually looked over those numbers myself, and things aren't looking good at all for everything. It's not just the housing. It's everything. It's people's credit spending, It's, that Juggle Bills song, Juggle Bills, can't get through the stack. Well, that's what's happening.
Yes, I agree. There was an interesting article on CNN Bloomberg. Basically went ahead, and it basically puts it out. It's 15 hours old. I'm looking at it right now. Personal investor. Most Canadians don't understand heat locks.
Oh, really? How can you not understand what it? You know why? Because they call it HELOC. If you called it a second mortgage like you should, then a lot of people would understand what a second mortgage is if you explain it to them.
Right, and I mean, there's a headline here. Over the past 15 years, HELOCs have become the largest contributor to growth of non-mortgage household debt in Canada, more than doubling credit cards or auto loans.
Oh, Christ. That's really bad. And you know why? A lot of people use these HELOCs to consume.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're using it to consume. And there's good consumption and there's bad consumption.
Well, that's
but
why.
A lot of,
well, that's why Canada's 17% of our GDP is consumption. And that.
Well.
Yeah, that's a lot. You know, and that's all. And that's not good when you're taking the money out of your house to consume.
Yeah. Whether it's for food or whatnot, I understand what you're saying. It's not a good thing. I think people are just refusing to wake up, and they think everything's going to be fine. Meanwhile, the proof is in the pudding. Everything is coming to fruition. We're going to see a major correction in Vancouver, and Toronto will follow suit. So let me ask you this, Mike. With you see the free fall right now in Vancouver. Where do you see the correction stopping? Where's the bottom, Mike? Tell me. I don't know enough about Vancouver. I'd love to know your...
prices are going to keep going down in Vancouver simply because property taxes are skyrocketing right now. So the only way Vancouver could keep its socks up and looking sharp without a failing city and without the city going bankrupt, they're just going to have to continuously raise property taxes as property values devalue. Now, do you remember that company that I told you, that ceramics company, the article I read last week on Mike in the Night, where the ceramics company basically has to forfeit or foreclose or close their company because they can't afford the $41,000 property tax bill, and the year before their property tax were $2,100, and now they're paying $41,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so they had to lay off 109 or 104 people before the property tax bill is due, and they're going to see what they're going to do with the building because they can't afford to operate anymore. So it's affected now 3 big prominent companies in Vancouver because the property tax hikes is what's going to basically satisfy the consumption of the BC government or the Vancouver, I guess the city of Vancouver. It's a very expensive city to maintain. It's partially abandoned. There's not a lot of people living there anymore. It's an empty shell. There's no nightlife, and more than half the apartments are empty. So there's a big problem. A lot of the article I read earlier with the young professionals are leaving and they're moving to Ottawa. The article I read earlier. Vancouver's in a heap of trouble. The only way Vancouver could stay afloat and not file for bankruptcy is by continuously raising property taxes. And that's just going to drive out small business, and that's going to drive out Canadians that can't afford, especially people living on pensions. So you're going to see a lot of dominoes falling. But unfortunately, Steve, a lot of these dominoes are going to be falling at the same time. These dominoes won't be falling consecutively. You're going to see a lot of things fall apart all around you as opposed to one at a time. So we're bracing ourselves, and we have to brace ourselves, and that's why we have to, get right with God or get right, get some food, get your supplies up, buy a bucket of that macaroni and cheese, because it might save your life one day. You know what I'm saying, Steve?
Yeah. I hear you, Mike, and I don't disagree with you. I just wish there was some sort of sense of normality to look forward to, because we don't know what normal is anymore. We've gone through such an irrational exuberance on many levels, not just housing. That is just one large component of it.
Feelings.
But we also, sorry?
Feelings. We're in the feelings wars now.
That's probably about right. But see a lot of people that have some money put away, whether it be $500,000, $1 million, whatever it is. I think there's going to be a mass transfer of wealth here, where people have basically bought houses and thought they were house rich and everything was fine. And, you know, they borrowed off their heat locks because they didn't want to be in a position of being house rich, cash poor. And I think once everything comes to a head, this big, huge pimple, bubble, zit, whatever you want to call it, comes to a head, and it finally just ruptures, and people just can no longer breathe. Devastation is going to set in, and we're going to basically have a depression where people are basically going to say, if you have money and you're willing to part with it, what will you buy from me?
Yeah. If I had the money and if I was going to, like, right now, what would I invest in Canada if I had the money?
Sure.
Nothing. Not right now. I would hold my money liquid. I would keep it liquid for now. I wouldn't invest in anything right now.
I couldn't agree with you more, because if you do that, you're in a very, very safe spot. It's too volatile. There's too many things, and there's nothing worse than buying something and hoping to God it doesn't lose value. Because if that's your approach and that is your current stance, then you may as well go ahead and just hold your capital liquid and be in a completely cash situation where you can go ahead and pounce when the time is right.
That's right.
And that's what a lot of people are doing.
Yes. That is very important. That is extremely important, because there's nothing. If someone said, hey, Mike, why don't you throw $100 million in the economy, throw it somewhere. You can't put it in housing. I mean, you can't really put it in. I think the only safe asset for a Canadian right now would be investing in the U.S. dollar. It might be a little bit of a safer haven. Gold, of course. Silver, of course. The precious metals, of course. But if you want liquid, you're going to need cash. And right now, the only currency I might have faith in would be the U.S. dollar right now. If I had to invest in something, that would be maybe the one thing I would invest in.
Yeah, I agree. I would definitely follow suit there, and I would go and basically run for the greenback, because that definitely, I mean, let's just put it this way: if the greenback goes down the tube, we got more problems than we know what to do with.
Yeah. Well, with China and Russia, and then now supposedly India selling the U.S. treasuries, I mean, on the markets, I mean, we're not doing too well with those. You know what I'm saying? If that's happening, we're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. Jason from Windsor in the comments section said something. In 3 years, people are going to wish they didn't throw all their savings at a house. You know what? There is going to be some people that are going to say that, but ask yourself this: how many people are saying that right now?
I would say 20%.
I think that is way too low, Mike.
Oh, no, I'm talking about people that bought in the last 2 years are saying that now. But the people that bought in the last 5 years will go up to about 50%.
Yeah, that's true.
It depends when they bought. It depends when they bought. If people bought 40 years ago, they're fine, right? If people bought 30 years ago, they're great. If people bought 20 years ago, they're doing really well, provided they haven't tapped into their equity. If people bought 10 years ago, they're still doing good. They should have their home partially paid off and have a low mortgage. But Steve, nobody has. Everybody, the baby boomers, everybody's been tapping into their damn equity.
That's right. And the worst thing that anybody could do is go ahead and listen to organized real estate and take that information, the information they give them, for face value. And I can't stress it enough. If you think that just because you don't have to sell and you're going to jump into the market, I don't have to sell anytime soon, or you jumped into the market 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever, I don't have to sell anytime soon, I'm okay, everything is fine, so on and so forth. You know what? That's absolutely fantastic. But you know what? Eventually you're going to have to sell that house. And when you do, whether it's worth more or less than what you bought it for, I can't stress it enough. You can't use that as a safe haven.
Hold on. One step back, Steve. Daniel O'Brien is saying, if you guys are right, my money is safe in the bank. No, it's not. Trudeau passed a bill where he could take your money out of your account.
That's very true.
The bill was passed a few weeks ago. Where is it? Liberals to remove money. Canada.
Johnny Blazo, Jason, a 50% price reduction today will be recovered in 10 years. Well, let's say in a perfect world that actually could possibly be true.
Mm-hmm.
So for the next 10 years, you can't borrow against your house. Your house is ultimately worth, you're basically insolvent.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden you have an asset that is doing absolutely nothing for you for the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here it is. Trudeau defends statistics to Canada to moving to collecting information of your banking information that you must submit to. And Trudeau's bail-in law allows to confiscate your deposits. So, guys, I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. I couldn't make this up. Trudeau's bail-in new law to allow banks to confiscate your deposits. So, your money is not safe in the bank. So, I wouldn't put more than the... well, no, because even if your bank... Okay, if your bank account is insured for up to $60,000, the insurance doesn't cover you if the government takes your money. It's only if the bank defaults.
Is that true, Mike? So CMHC's removed, sorry, not CMHC, listen to me. Canadian Deposit Insurance is removed from the equation in the event that Trudeau goes ahead and enforces that bill?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, we're set up for failure. We're totally set up for failure. There's Trudeau's new bail-in law. There's a YouTube video here. It's from a channel. I'm not sure who these guys are, but here it is. It's the new bail-in law. You got to watch out for what's going... Guys, you got to educate yourselves. Your government's not going to educate you. You know, your friends will try and tell you what to do, and your family will try and tell you what to do and what's best for you, but it's all up to you to educate yourself and put yourself in the right position. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, am I right or not?
I'll say this much.
Yeah.
If in fact it's labeled as a recession and things are not great, you're going to see a lot of money come out. I personally think you may see a run at the banks.
Well, yeah. If people are going to lose their money, you know, if people are going to lose their money, then there's going to be a huge problem. People are just not going to put their money in the bank.
Yeah, I would rather go ahead and put it in a U.S. bank. That's for sure, and you can do that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like what you know where I'm coming from. Like, what safe havens are there? You know, remember, guys, we are not investors and we're not giving financial advice, but all investments could go from zero to the moon. Woo!
Yeah, I agree. And yes, Jason, you know, this is a Ponzi scheme. He said it perfectly.
Yeah, he did, actually. He said that. Jason's got a lot of sense. We should just have him on the show sometime. Jason Azevedo, if you could be on the show sometime, I'd really appreciate it. Add me to Skype, Mike Martins 1980. We'll have you on next week, and you could give us a little bit of insight on what's happening on your end. We'll have Mr. E on the show, hopefully, on Saturday night for Mike in the Night. We'll have Peter doing some research for us on Mike in the Night to find out what's going on. And yeah, hopefully we can. Are you available for Mike in the Night so we could talk about your best friend JT?
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm definitely available and expect some pretty crazy news to come out within the next week or two from OSFI regarding some rules and regulations.
Yeah. Okay. Keep us on the pulse. Let us know what's going on, and we definitely will stay in touch. Okay.
Absolutely, Mike. So good to be with you. I'll let you go. Thanks very much for having me on the show, and we'll talk soon. Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye. So, guys, that's Steve the plumber. Boots on the ground. 2, 3 evictions a week, 4 evictions a week. The stories he tells me where a house caught on fire and some guy flooded the property and some guy did this and this that. It's like, holy mackerel. So Mr. E says, the truth seems crazy, but always makes more sense than the agreed upon lie. That's very true. Yeah, baby. Anyways, guys, I've been on for 3 hours. Yeah, Jason, prepare yourself for next week. Add me on Skype, Mike Martins 1980. Add me on Skype, please. Guys, don't forget to hit me up in the tip jar. I want to thank everyone. If you want a shout out, no problem. Hit me up in the tip jar, guys. Help out this transmission. It's so costly. I spend 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week making videos. Oh, Justin Cringe Diversity. I need this guy on my channel. We need to know what's happening with Justin Cringe Diversity. Yeah, Johnny Blazo, you could call in too, buddy. This is everybody's channel. Everyone could call in. I don't care. Everyone calls in. Next week, Johnny Blazo, we'll have you. We'll have you. Yep. Where are you, Johnny? Are you in New Hampshire or where are you? Are you in South Florida? I wonder where he's at. South Carolina? Yeah, Justin Cringe, I need you on the channel pronto. I need to know what the heck is going on. You know, so Justin Cringe, I told you, use a backup email. Everyone's using Skype. It's free. I don't pay for it. They don't ask me. You went on some other thing that asks you for credit card number. Nobody, Skype has never even confirmed my phone number. Okay, guys? So I need you guys to get Skype, okay? And I need Justin Cringe on the show next week. Guys, Just Cringe Diversity, sorry, I call it. And I need you, Just Cringe Diversity. If you could come on Mike on the Night this Saturday, I would really appreciate it because I would like for you to give us like a 10-minute plug with you talking, and I won't say anything, of everything that has gone bad in the Trudeau administration from the day he took office to right now, what's been happening. And I want you to do a plug where you just take 3-4 breaths and just keep talking and then keep talking. And then we could actually break down in a nutshell, in a 10-minute plug, what has he done, what has he lied about, or what promises has he broken, and how he's screwing everybody over. So guys, please do not be scared to download Skype, and you won't be worried about Skype. It shouldn't be asking you for credit cards or any mumbo jumbo. Use another email if you have to. I'm using it. It's fantastic, and I can see you guys live, and we can see each other, and the guests can know your channel, what you're up to. This is Justin Cringe right here. This is so good. I like this video so much. So he interpreted what YouTube told him about monetizing his channel.
Please go to your monetization page to read more about specific policy that our specialists flagged for your channel. If you adjust the content on your channel and make more videos like, let's say, Will Smith.
No, Will Smith, no. Pouring gravy down your pants. So if you guys want to get your videos promoted here, let's go on my YouTube right here. Oh no, I'm on my backup channel. Yeah, so you see how I don't have him subscribed on my backup channel? Do you know why? Because I want to keep this channel. Okay, watch this. A video game channel. See? It's a video game channel. So I review video games. And this is all my work.
You have no idea how much fun I
It's me talking.
do a lot of these
So I review video games. So this is like our speakeasy. So when YouTube comes on the channel and sees some activity and they look, they're like, okay, yeah, this looks like a video game channel. It doesn't look like... There's hundreds of video game reviews here by this guy. And they look pretty good, too. He looks like he spent some time making these damn things. Look at this. Wow, this guy spent some time making these videos. I did.
More
So
of
we could basically keep this as a front, our little speakeasy. Nobody knows. Everyone's hiding underneath. We're all hiding underneath a video game channel, and we're streaming from a video game channel. And when they come and check it out, look at my subscriptions: Radical Reggie, Metal Jesus Rocks, Review Tech USA, all video game channels. So it looks so kosher. So, anyways, guys, don't forget to hit me up in the tip jar, please, and don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share some of my videos from my main channel. It really means a lot to me. I spent 40 hours doing this a week, and it's a lot of work. It's a toll. It's a toll. Electricity, this, that, it all adds up in the end. Thank you for watching. Big hug. And have a great night. And this show will be up tomorrow on my main channel, maybe late evening once it's finalized by YouTube. And we'll go from there. Thanks for watching, guys. And don't forget to join me for Mike in the Night Saturday night. Maybe I'll have a few drinks. Hopefully the police doesn't come in my house here and breathalyze me live while I'm doing my show with you guys, because I could go to jail for drinking in my own house. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.